Rick Sanchez is one of the most tragic characters in TV show history. I mean, the guy literally loses his wife in every dimension.
Some of you may have noticed that it's not just your Diane that's gone. She's also been erased from every universe across infinity.
And spends his days hunting down Rick Prime.
I spent my life hunting this guy, Morty. This is the closest I've ever been to catching Rick Prime.
So, we have compiled every tragedy suffered by Rick to either himself or to other people. Starting off with every single person killed by our favorite mad scientist. From killing multiple other Ricks to literally blowing up entire universes, Rick C-137 has racked up kind of a crazy kill count, bluntly, over the 8 seasons of the show. So in this video, I'm gonna cover every single person Rick Sanchez killed, starting with Morty's school bully. When Rick goes to Morty's school to grab him for an adventure, he finds Morty being bullied by Frank Palicki.
Telling me how to bully now? Big mistake, Morty. Now I'm gonna cut you, because my family's rich.
Rick fixed the problem, so to speak, by simply zapping Frank with his freeze ray gun, turning him into a delicate statue that could, you know...
Hi, Frank.
...easily shatter and break. Which is exactly what happens when Summer comes up to him, trying to start something. I guess Rick didn't really think this one through, as usual. This was the first of many people he's killed, and it was a pretty avoidable death.
These seeds aren't gonna get through customs unless they're in someone's rectum, Morty. They'll fall right out of mine. I've done this too many times, Morty.
While on the adventure, the two steal some special seeds.
It's a new machine. It detects stuff all the way up your butt.
Run, Morty!
Security guards chase them and Rick ends up offing 2 aliens. That puts our kill count to 3, which is still pretty tame compared to what he did to the Zigerians. Zigerians, which are loosely based on Nigerian scammers, were after Rick's recipe for dark matter and put him and Morty in a simulation. Rick doesn't think much of these guys.
They won't monitor us in here.
Monitor us? Who?
Zigerian scammers, Morty. The galaxy's most ambitious, least successful con artists.
Getting out of the simulation turns out to be significantly tougher than Rick expected. So he tricked them by giving Morty a fake recipe for dark matter. And of course, they were listening in.
How dumb are you? You're inside a simulation of a simulation inside another giant simulation. We never had the recipe for concentrated dark matter, but we do now.
His plan works and the Zigerians believe they have won. That is until they test it out.
The final ingredient?
Not surprising. Rick wasn't going to let some incompetent scammers get the better of him. His fake dark matter recipe made a huge explosion, destroying their ship, which had at least 50 of them on board.
What happened back there?
Why don't you ask the smartest people in the universe, Jerry? Oh yeah, you can't. They blew up.
I totally get it. They were so annoying. Just like the Meeseeks. Rick gives his family a Meeseeks box to help them get their stuff done. It's a box with a button you press to summon a Meeseeks, and the Meeseeks will only exist as long as it takes to do its given job. Then it vanishes. Rick summons a Meeseeks as a demonstration, telling it to open a jar.
Yes, sirree!
The Meeseeks fulfills the request,
All done!
Wow.
and then it stops existing.
After which it vanishes, because, you know, that was the whole purpose of its life. Still, to me, counts as a kill. While the Smith family was enjoying the Meeseeks box, Rick was out on a whole other adventure with Morty.
Rick, this is a fantasy-type world with creatures and all sorts of fantasy things. We're going on a quest, okay?
Can't wait.
They went to an old-timey fairy tale land. Here, Morty runs into a weird gentleman in the bathroom.
How are you today? I'm Mr. Jellybean.
Hi, Mr. Jellybean. I'm Morty.
Who seems friendly at first, but then tries to assault him.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Morty, despite being traumatized, beats him up pretty bad and slams the toilet seat over his head multiple times. He doesn't die though. We later see him sitting on his throne with his crown and busted face.
We would like to introduce you to our beloved king so that he may thank you personally.
No, it's cool. Rick, portal, hurry.
Rick shoots him before heading home. One less creep in the multiverse. I'm totally with you on this one, Rick. He was defending his grandkid, just like when he killed the Gazorpians. In this episode, Rick travels to Gazorpazorp to find a suitable parent for Morty and Gwendolyn's child.
I'm a father now, you know? It's time for me to be responsible. Isn't that right,
Don't name it.
Morty Jr.?
Oh, crap, he named it.
But as usual, there's a few bumps along the way, and 5 Gazorpians get a hold of Summer.
Grandpa Rick!
Still think it's a good idea to go through holes without a wiener?
Remember, these guys gave Rick no choice but to kill them. Once again, it was Grandpa Rick who saved the day. That puts our kill count to 60. And we're not even done with the first season, guys. In the last episode of the season, Rick C-137 was framed by Evil Morty for the murder of 27 other Ricks and the kidnapping of their Mortys.
What? That's ridiculous. I'm obviously being set up.
Rick has to escape so he can find out who's really behind this, and while doing that, he kills 2 other Ricks. The second season kicked off with a parallel dimension problem. Rick messes with time, and Schleemy Pants shows up to arrest him.
You stole a time-freezing crystal from testicle monsters?
He kind of looks like it rhymed with an icicle. He's even got a couple of hairs here and there. Don't even get me started on his weapon of choice. He's armed with what looks like the weirdest gun I've ever seen.
This will turn your ass into a third trimester fetus from 30 yards.
Its name is Chris, and has a flaccid barrel. Chris wormed its way out of Rick's hand, only to get run over by a car. His stint as a free gun lasted mere seconds. Still, this was nothing next to what he did to these poor Gromflomites. Rick was a killing machine in this episode. Probably could have been avoided if only Morty hadn't released Fart and killed Chrombopulus Michael.
You killed my best customer, but you saved a mind-reading fart.
I like this name, Fart.
Rick killed 1 Gromflomite by cutting it in half, opening a portal in the middle of the guy, then 4 more were downed in a tidal wave and got sucked into a portal. As if there wasn't enough carnage for one day, he crashed his ship into 3 more while on the way out, because that's just how Rick rolls, or flies in this case. He then shoots down a gear police officer's vehicle and it crashes with the guy inside it. He then shoots down another 3 ships. That puts it to a total of 11 people in this episode and puts the kill count at 74. That was a wild ride, but the next one was just sad and kind of made me feel bad for Rick.
Maybe I just missed being with a collective.
In this one, Rick gets back together with his old flame Unity, the hive mind entity, and just like before, their relationship soon hits the wall.
I realize now that I'm attracted to you for the same reason I can't be with you. You can't change.
In a depressed, drunken stupor, he goes home and unfreezes a small creature that he'd kept frozen. He comforts the sad, screaming alien at first, a rare moment of softness which is so not like him. But then he puts it under the death ray and kills the poor thing. Yeah, that's more like Rick. He tries to use the ray on himself too, and it's really depressing to watch. At least it was fun when the memory parasites took over.
So we gotta keep an eye out for any zany, wacky characters that pop up.
Ooh-wee! Whatever you want, Rick. We're here to help.
Memory parasites take over the Smith household, and chaos ensues. Getting rid of them is not easy because they put fake memories of themselves in everyone's heads, and no one can tell who's real and who's a parasite.
So we can't trust any of our memories now? Nikki was the reason we found that old Nazi submarine. Did that not even happen?
Well, of course it happened.
Talk about info hazard. Rick sealed the entrance to stop them from getting out and spreading. It was actually Morty who cracked it. He figured out that the parasites only implanted pleasant memories of themselves. Whoever they could remember having bad times with was definitely real.
Figured it out, Rick. The parasites can only create pleasant memories. I know you're real because I have a ton of bad memories with you.
They multiplied like crazy, and Rick had to kill a lot of them. They took some interesting shapes. He first killed Uncle Steve, who was allegedly Jerry's cool brother that had been crashing at their place.
There's no such thing as an Uncle Steve. That is an alien parasite.
Then came Cousin Nicky, who looked like he came straight out of Goodfellas. Rick shot him too. By now, the parasites had been growing, and they were not exactly subtle about their appearances either.
Oh, shoot! Now look, it's like a Where's Waldo page. Can you find me?
The next ones were more obvious. He ordered Morty to off Penn Sylvester, and he himself killed Reverse Giraffe, Astronaut, Mr. Beauregard, and the family butler. And, of course, Ghost in a Jar.
Is something wrong, Beth? Ow!
And yet, somehow, Mr. Poopy Butthole was a real person. There were probably way more because their whole house was teeming with parasites, but only 7 confirmed hits that we actually saw. This brings our kill count to 82. Now for a musical episode.
Show me what you got!
In this episode, the Cromulons want a banger from Earth as part of an intergalactic competition. And if they don't give them one, they will destroy the whole planet.
Disqualified!
Rick goes into the US government's headquarters with his portal gun and kills 2 officers. And no, they didn't turn into snakes, that's just one of Rick's parlor tricks.
Why didn't he turn into a snake?
Trade secret, Mr. President. Particle beam in a wristwatch. Snake holster on the leg.
Anyways, Farrell, Billy Corgan, and Randy Newman all died in an earthquake at the Grammys, so I guess that leaves only Rick and Morty for the job. Of course. They pull it off with a little help from Ice-T, and the Cromulons are satisfied. Everyone was celebrating their win, but for some reason, General Nathan was pissed. Rick took care of him in an instant, disintegrating him with his watch just like the officers. That's another 3, putting our kill count to 85, but all of this is nothing compared to what Rick does next.
Huh. Looks like something's wrong with the Microverse battery. We're gonna have to go inside.
Go inside what?
The battery, Morty.
Rick and Morty traveled inside his car battery when it stopped working. Rick had created a miniverse with intelligent life and taught them to generate electricity for themselves and for Rick's spacecraft. But a scientist amongst them, Zeep Zanflop, did the exact same thing that Rick did, which is why Rick's battery wasn't working. Rick hates what's going on and decides that he's going to make Zeep change his mind by making him meet a scientist who is also making a miniverse.
Somewhere on this planet, there's gotta be an arrogant scientist prick on the verge of Microverse technology.
The thinking being that when Zeep sees someone else do it, he'll realize it's bad and his people will go back to making their own power. It gets even crazier. When they go into Zeep's miniverse, they do end up finding a scientist working on his own teeny-verse, Kyle. But it's not as advanced as the other two's yet. Zeep takes the bait and stops raging at Kyle for how wrong this is, but mid-rant it dawns on him that Rick is the creator of his universe. Kyle also comes to the realization that these two are pretty much his gods. That's gotta suck. Kyle worked on his teenyverse day and night, even missing his dad's funeral.
You gotta hang on tight, you know, because she bucks pretty hard. Oh boy, what? Oh my god, no!
He just kills himself. When they make it back to Kyle's lab, the two start fighting and eventually get back to Zeep's lab, where Rick throws Zeep's miniverse and destroys it.
Oh, you monster!
Whoa.
There were around, and bear with me, 7,376,624,044 people in the destroyed Teenyverse, and Rick pretty much just killed them, bringing our kill count to 7,376,624,129, if I have not misspoken. It didn't take much. All you had to do was throw a container on the ground, but damn, that's a lot of people. Now for some school murders.
The universe is a little too big to care about something so small.
Rick transferred his consciousness to a much younger clone of himself so he could attend Morty and Summer's school to hunt down a vampire there.
They found her in the gym with like 2 holes in her neck and all the blood drained out of her.
Good lord, who does something like that?
Obviously a vampire.
Rick wasn't surprised at all when Summer talked about it. He knew all about vampires already. Everyone else was late to the party.
Vampires are real?
Yes, Summer, vampires are real. Who knew? Oh, right, all humanity for hundreds of years now.
Tiny Rick then kills Coach Ferratu, who was the vampire.
We got a tip it was in your locker. Yeah, now because the gym coach was a vampire, the school board is embarrassed and won't take it public. However, they can't have students killing teachers. I gotta expel you for this one, TR.
It definitely counts. It's still our Rick, just in a different body. At the end of the episode, he destroys Tiny Rick and 4 other clones of himself, meaning a total of 6 people in this episode.
Oh man, I gotta pick up your parents. They have been blowing me up. One less swing for the roof!
I don't know why he killed his clones and Tiny Rick. It was kind of growing on me that this was completely avoidable. Not like his next victim.
Don't worry worry about Jerry. He's gonna be fine. You hear me, Jerry? You're gonna be fine.
Jerry was rushed to the hospital after swallowing some mutant bacteria. But then he spread bacteria to Dr. Glip-Glop, who was about to go rabid. Before he could, Rick used his particle watch on him and killed him. I totally get why he did it. It looked like he was a goner already, and Rick just did him a favor. Then there was the time Rick had to go on a killing spree just because Morty liked a girl. Rick went crazy on this one, and it all started with Morty's need to be a knight in shining armor.
Help me save that girl, or I'm telling Mom you brought me here.
You little turd.
Rick and Morty tried to help Arthricia, but she was actually deceiving them. She didn't need their help surviving. She actually needed their help killing the elites of her planet that were orchestrating the whole purge.
Wait, stop! Please don't kill me! I never intended to harm you, I swear! I am trying to end the festival!
Rick and Morty even donned special armor to help them, and Rick killed 27 Magdalians, not just the elites, but also the purging masses. Morty, as usual, followed in his grandpa's footsteps.
Jeez, wow, Morty, now you're getting into it. Never expected that out of you.
You know what they say? The apple never falls far from the murder tree. But there's more before season 2 ends. This episode was iconic and super eventful.
Weddings are basically funerals with cake. If I wanted to watch someone throw their life away, I'd hang out with Jerry all day.
After Rick reluctantly agrees to attend his best friend's wedding with Tammy, who was one of Summer's friends, shit hits the fan.
In a lot of ways, what I really am is a deep cover agent for the Galactic Federation, and you guys are a group of wanted criminals, and this entire building is, in a certain sense, surrounded.
Tammy reveals herself as a secret agent for the Galactic Federation, and the wedding descends into complete chaos. It was a fake wedding, a trick to bring all the wanted criminals together so the Federation could swoop in and arrest them. It's like the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones, but with more federal, or I suppose, intergalactic police. Rick killed 8 Gromflomites here.
Good thing I grabbed a space weapon.
That's a confetti gun, you idiot!
Now, on to season 3. After Rick was on the run from the Galactic Federation at the end of last season, he turned himself in so the rest of his family could return to Earth.
What are you in for?
Everything.
While he's in their custody, the Council of Rick sends a team of Ricks to kill C-137 so that the Federation doesn't get a hold of any of their secrets.
D99, you okay?
He kills the team. There were 9 Ricks in total, including Headband Rick, Eye Patch Rick, Cornrow Rick, and many others as well. He also killed 1 alien and 1 Gromflomite. Another 40 Gromflomites die when he transports the Citadel into the Galactic Federation's prison too.
He's a spy, blow him up. I'm gonna go take a shit.
And we're off to a strong start here in season 3. Rick and Morty travel to a world that looks suspiciously like the Mad Max wasteland.
Whoa, that was cool.
Rick injects a serum into Morty's arm that extracts muscle memory from body parts and was supposed to give Morty's arm combat skills.
Ow!
I'm working with a mixed bag here, so you may not have perfect coordination, Morty. Oh, hey!
I didn't do that!
Okay.
But it came with so much more, including the memories and personality of the person it was extracted from. They call him Armthy, and he had a score to settle from his past life, which Rick and Morty helped him to do.
Both gotta see our stuff through. I gotta deal with my parents' divorce, and you gotta, you know, do what you gotta do. I love you.
Oh, fuck.
Rick killed 2 Deathstalkers in this one, and then he and Morty got vengeance for Armthy.
Here. It's the least I can do. I owe you this much. See, Morty? Now we're both accountable.
They teamed up to kill Lord Henderfinger, the guy who ordered the death of Armthy's village and family. I must say, though, he's got to be the most pathetic-looking villain on the show.
Graze my genitals again, Taint Washer, and you'll be shipped to the wasteland.
Even I could beat this guy up. Be a piece of cake. Then came Pickle Rick. The memes wrote themselves with this episode, didn't they? Rick will do some crazy stuff to avoid talking about his feelings. And in this case, it's using his insane knowledge of science to turn himself into a pickle.
turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom! Big reveal, I'm a pickle. What do you think about that?
And that's just one of the insane things he does in this episode. He had a field day here, and yes, just because he did it as a pickle doesn't make him any less guilty. First, he killed 3 cockroaches, then a rat to make himself an even better exoskeleton, and then went on a killing rampage against an army of rats. He killed a total of 21 of them. Just another work day in the life of an exterminator. After escaping the sewer and ending up in a Russian embassy, he killed a bunch of their agents.
This pickle doesn't care about your children. And I'm not gonna take their dreams. I'm gonna take their parents.
Then he exploded the entire building, adding at least another 20. His murder method in the next episode was way more unique.
We're being called to assemble by the Vindicators!
I refuse to answer a literal call to adventure, Morty. Let it go to voicemail.
The Vindicators called on Rick for help, and he didn't really want to go because he hates them and sees them as beneath him. No surprise there, that's true of pretty much everyone, actually. But then he ends up going at Morty's insistence.
I, Morty Smith, invoke my right to choose 1 in every 10 Rick and Morty adventures. Read them in week.
Fucking damn it.
Rather than helping him defeat World Ender, he got wasted, shat all over the place, and woke up in no condition to do any world saving.
Why don't you escort Mr. Sanchez to a more comfortable spot so that someone can clean up his diarrhea?
I've had some Mondays like that. It's okay, Rick. But before he passed out drunk, he set up a whole Jigsaw-style game for the Vindicators to figure out, and wrong answers would get them killed, full-on Saw style. All because he wanted to show them that they're not special.
Look, I'm a little more complex than you guys, and no offense, but I've always suspected that a lot of what you do in a year could be knocked out in a couple of hours.
I love Rick's pettiness. It's the one thing he does as well as science. In this madness, 2 Vindicators, Vance Maximus and Crocubot, were killed. Rick also killed around a dozen henchmen.
Ooh, real scared, real fucking on alert, high alert over here.
Then there was the time he tried to do something nice for Jerry.
Put some pants on! Never mind, there's no time for pants, Jerry. I'll make you a pair of pants on the way. It's a Rick and Jerry adventure!
Rick did a whole lot of killing in this one, but it was at the Immortality Field Resort. I'm sure you guys can figure out how that's relevant. Rick takes Jerry there to cheer him up. As soon as they arrive, Rick gets stabbed in the chest and then stabs his attacker in the neck.
Someone? Someone?
But as soon as they're revived, the 2 hug and laugh it off. He was Rick's old friend's Snoopy bloopers, but it was still a kill, as far as I'm concerned. Jerry meets Risotto Groupon, one of Rick's enemies. He convinces Jerry to take a ride with Rick on the Whirly, a roller coaster that goes slightly outside of the Immortality Field, so Risotto can kill Rick there.
I'm only asking you to go on a ride with Rick, get off the ride without Rick, and go home to your family, where you can wonder about having a vagina.
Okay.
Rick, of course, killed the guy he sent after him, and then killed 2 more of his henchmen.
We had a deal, Jerry Smith.
It's a really common name.
Pissed off at Jerry, he lets a gibble snake swallow Jerry, but then rips it open and saves his easily swallowed son-in-law. I would have left the guy there. I mean, he just let an alien he's never met before talk him into killing his wife's father. Before the episode ended, he also killed Risotto. That's 7 people this episode. Now we get to see more of Rick's kills, but this time in retrospect. Morty realizes that Rick's extracted a lot of his unpleasant memories and stored them in vials over the years. He ends up remembering a lot of things Rick doesn't want him to, including how Rick killed Bebo, an alien from a planet the spacecraft crashed on.
Shit, we need to find shelter before the sun sets, Morty. Vincenulon 9 has a night temperature of 300 below. We'll freeze, Morty. We'll be dead in seconds.
Long story short, it was a really cold planet, and Rick killed Bebo so he and Morty could go into its body for warmth, Tauntaun style a la episode 5 from Star Wars.
This may smell bad, kid. Probably it'll keep you warm.
After doing so, Rick realized they were on a different planet than he thought, and there was no need to do that, because it wasn't actually that cold, and they would have been fine.
Wait, are we on Vincenulon 9 or Vincenulon 7?
I would definitely triple check something like that before I kill someone, but hey, that's just me. Rick also killed Warlord of Titan, an alien who kidnapped Beth, Summer, and Morty, saving the day again. Then there was that time Beth made a really bizarre discovery. Beth makes some harrowing discoveries in this one. When her childhood friend Tommy disappeared, Beth dealt with it by pretending he was in her imaginary world, Frupy Land.
When I was a kid, I just told myself that Tommy had gotten lost in the magical realm of Frupy Land.
Frupy Land?
My make-believe world. I know the name's stupid, but it was so real to me.
While she's laughing at how silly she used to be, Rick reveals that Frupy Land is, in fact, a real place.
I want to know if Tommy's still in there.
Relax, Beth. If he is, we'll find him.
Not only is Tommy still there, but he's had intercourse with some of the Frupy Land creatures, creating some weird children. Because what else can you do when you grow up all by yourself in a child's imaginary world?
Perhaps a demonstration is in order.
No, that is the last thing that was in order.
Poor Frupy character. Leave him alone.
Rick kills 3 Frupy Land creatures, as well as Carmox, who, incidentally, was Kiara's last boyfriend before she got with Jerry.
Yo, Jerry, it's the Big R. I killed that alien that was coming after you. Looking out for you, buddy. Hey, Jerry, it's Rick. Don't be mad. I fucked your ex-girlfriend, Kiara.
But there were more when Rick decided to take on the President of the United States himself.
Here's the adventure. Some kind of alien Googa has infested the Kennedy sex tunnels. I want it hunted down and taken out.
Kennedy sex tunnels?
Rick is tired of being treated like some booty call exterminator by President Curtis, who only calls him to handle stuff which is honestly way below his skill set.
Let's set some boundaries with a spoiled control freak that thinks he runs the world and orders drone strikes to cope with his insecurity.
He also won't let Morty take a selfie with him.
Maybe then we could get a selfie?
Too busy, Morty.
So, when Rick is called on again, he blows it off and stays home with Morty.
As far as he knows, we're still in the tunnels.
When should we reveal we can see them?
We're holding all the cards right now. We don't show any before the time is right.
Which the president can clearly see. I mean, of course he can. He's the president. Come on. After Rick and Morty broker a peace treaty with a miniature civilization, as well as Palestine and Israel on his behalf, just because they want to show him they're better than him, they go to the Oval Office.
Everybody relax. Just waiting for you in the only room you can't blow up or spy on.
Rick kills 17 security guards here without so much as lifting a finger, and refused to leave until Morty gets his selfie.
My grandson has worked hard for you, and I feel like he's earned a selfie.
Yep, that's a great reason to kill 17 people. To prove a point and be petty. Until Rick went on his next interdimensional trip.
Morty, would you please accompany me to Forbodulon Prime for death crystals?
Well, thank you for asking. Yes, I will do that.
Rick and Morty's adventure this time around was their pursuit of death crystals. Crystals that show you how you're going to die.
Do they kill you?
You're thinking of bullets, Morty. Death crystals show you how you're gonna die.
And Rick kills 3 crystal poachers in this one. When he's not killing, turns out Rick can be extremely petty, which we've said maybe a few times this episode, tends to be one of his major reasons to kill people. And honestly, he does not play around when it comes to pooping. This was probably the pettiest I've ever seen Rick be, and that's really, really saying something. After finding out that an alien named Tony has been pooping in his toilet, he warns him to stay away, getting extremely mad when Tony doesn't listen.
You're right, Tony. I'm done fighting. Time to be free.
Oh, wait, you're actually gonna... Oh, God! Oh, God.
I get it. It must have been annoying, but Rick just took things way too far. He went and told Tony it was okay for him to use the toilet, and then set up a simulation to taunt him while he did his business.
Just wanted to drop these off, and you tell him, the toilet's all his. He'll know what I mean.
Tony died.
But that never happened. Tony died before he could return to the toilet. In his madness, Rick killed 6 lizard people. He definitely regretted what he did to Tony, just as much as he must regret getting a dragon for Morty.
Dad, did you promise Morty a dragon?
Things get kind of crazy when Rick finally caves and gets Morty a dragon like he wanted.
You asked me to cut class and fight robots with you. I said no. You said millions of lives depend on it. I said I'll do it for a dragon. You said whatever. I want my dragon.
The dragon, Balthramor, turns out to be, well, a bit too friendly.
Oh yeah! What the fuck?
They had a soul bonding, if you know what I mean. Rick killed 11 orcs in this episode trying to find a way to break the soul bond between Morty and Balframor. Morty found himself in another mess soon, and of course, it was Grandpa Rick to the rescue. With some murder.
There's snakes in space?
There's literally everything in space, Morty! Now get the fuck back in the car!
While in space, a snake astronaut bites Morty. Turns out there's a snake race, and that was their first contact with another species. The snake species is also pretty racist, and on the brink of a massive war.
How funny is that? Imagine being a racist snake. Hey, other snake, I hate you because you're the wrong color snake. Oh my god. You're not laughing? Oh, you're dying.
Morty feels bad and sends a random snake in the astronaut's suit to their planet, causing the snakes to develop time travel, because the random snake sent to their planet proved that there's a bigger threat outside of their own planet.
Gave them proof that there was something bigger and scarier to unite against, you little idiot.
They send waves of snake terminators to kill Morty, so Rick wipes them out. The kid's got a good heart, but he should probably stop making big decisions on his own. There are about 20 or so snake terminators. More alien deaths coming right up.
Holy shit. Oh,
What are these things?
do I look like I know? Last thing I remember, I was in a cave looking at some wet egg and... Oh, that probably did it.
Rick killed Steve and Bruce, his and Morty's facehuggers. They are parasitic glorzo.
Oh my god, I wish we could suck on each other.
I doubt they'll be missed. After being caught trying to escape the Glorzo Society, Rick blasts Morty's terrible harmonica playing on his ship's speaker to trigger the Glorzo's deaths. And it works! He kills 5 of the parasites in their way, and 77 more in their last escape fight. And we're not even halfway through all of the series and episodes yet. Rick does not like being double-crossed or underestimated. When 4 alien dealers tried to pull a fast one on him, he grew a third arm and killed them. Now for one of the most satisfying deaths on the show. When the Galactic Federation tries to capture Beth for crimes committed by Space Beth, it's once again Rick's job to be the hero. He not only kills 16 Gromflomites, but he also gets to settle an old score. The one with Tammy.
Smart guns, whitelist human life. And the therapist.
When she storms Dr. Wong's office, Rick activates a hidden arsenal of guns that kill all the alien soldiers. Tammy escapes, but Rick catches up to her and finishes the job, after delivering one of the show's best bits of dialogue.
You made me go to a wedding. And you killed my best friend. I should have said that one first.
Now, for one of the show's worst rated episodes, Rick takes some horse sperm from Beth's clinic to create a weapon, but it wasn't horse sperm.
What's this thing in the middle of the room with the hole in the end?
That's a breeding mount. The nurses use it to collect reproductive material.
Morty had been using the horse sperm extractor for his own, let's say, pleasure?
Morty, you dirty little doggy.
Things go horribly wrong, and giant sperm monsters take over. Not knowing whose sperm the monsters are really from, Summer comes up with a plan to use one of her own enlarged eggs to bait and kill them.
What do sperm want? The same thing as a lumberjack in the morning or a fox at night.
Pants.
Eggs.
Pancakes.
Eggs!
Do I have to explain why this would be really, really messed up? Rick joins the fight to contain the disaster and stop Morty's sperm from reaching Summer's egg and birth a giant incest baby.
Wait, there's something big, and it's coming right at you! Dear God, no. You can't be real.
It's uncomfortable, gross, and still hilarious. Also, doesn't this count as parasite? Rick killed 6 of them, his own great-grandchildren, of a sort. Yeah. Now for another appearance by the president himself.
I'll put your outer space ass in a goddamn phantom zone with a bar of kryptonite soap around your neck. You're done, Sanchez. You hear me?
Ugh.
When Rick and Morty find out the president's planning on stealing turkey DNA, Rick, as usual, comes up with a bizarre, far-fetched plan. They turn themselves into turkeys to sneak in, but the president has the same idea, and the next thing you know, there's mutant turkeys running wild in DC, a secret cabal of turkey soldiers, and Paul Revere's Ghost 2. I don't know why. Then the conflict turns into an over-the-top war, and in the chaos, Rick killed 4 soldiers and 11 gobblers. Until he helped a friend in need.
Bring him out.
Initiating best friend rejuvenation sequence.
Rick goes into Bird Person's head to revive him after he's been in a coma. He finds another version of himself, who isn't technically real and only exists in Bird Person's head, and teams up with him.
Young memory Rick and his all-too-real cautionary tale from the future. Let's catch ourselves a bird guy. Who would high-five that, you idealistic hipster douche?
In Bird Person's memories, he's being chased by a lot of Gromflomites, and Rick has to kill like 20 of them to get ahead. The number was bumped up again when Rick and Morty had a short falling out.
I won't take your word for that, and I shouldn't have to, which is why I have sidekick rules. If you can't follow them...
I can be replaced. Yeah, so you keep telling me.
Rick loves taking Morty for granted. I wasn't surprised one bit when he decided to switch things up by firing Morty and replacing him with 2 crows. But when he's tired of them too, he dumps them on a planet of advanced crow aliens who don't like this and retaliates. I mean, yeah, you can't just go around dumping people on random planets. His ship gets pulled down by a tractor beam, and the crow people are trying to kill him.
I'm getting my ass kicked by this dumb fucking crow story. It's all gone tits up.
Huh, okay.
In his escape, he kills 7 crow people. Then our favorite duo walked into Evil Morty's office. This was a very happening episode for Rick.
It's the Crow Man!
He's having an anime protagonist phase with his 2 crow sidekicks. He kills Pacifier, a villain who just appeared, and 3 owl bandits. He soon tires of that and goes home.
Hot damn, hitting the ground running with a Citadel episode. See you later, masturbators.
Then he and Morty end up at the Citadel, where President Morty, aka Evil Morty, invites them over for dinner.
Fine, I could eat. But the second he reveals he's evil, we're gone.
When they go, President Morty questions Rick about the central finite curve, which makes Rick want to leave. But Evil Morty was prepared for that and didn't try to stop him.
Morty, when you came here for that serum, did you refill this gun?
Yeah.
He just hacked everyone's portal gun and set it to the blender dimension, meaning whoever tried to leave would die. In the struggle that ensues, Rick kills 2 other Ricks, 4 Gromflomites, 3 aliens, and in a flashback, we see him kill another 83 Ricks. Damn. Rick makes Charles Manson look like a model citizen.
Oh shit.
Wait, what? What's happening?
Instead of resetting portal travel, I may have reset portal travelers. Too late to apologize.
Rick tries to send everyone back to their original dimension in this episode after portal fluid flooded the Citadel and caused large-scale destruction. Rick killed 1 alien with his spaceship in this one. At least the next guys deserved what they got. Rick and Morty go to Blips and Chits, an intergalactic game arcade.
There's an alien army shooting people. What am I doing?
It's a small group of alien terrorists. Just do a Die Hard.
While there, Morty's inside a virtual reality game and alien terrorists show up, so Rick kills 2 of them. Then there was the Panda Express visit that turned into an undercover operation being exposed.
What's your stupid 21st century watered-down fortune cookie say, Dad?
You will have sex with your mother.
Rick, Morty, and Summer head to a Panda Express because Rick really wants a fortune cookie. But the branch they visit is actually linked with a secret shady underground operation.
Fortune cookies.
You're not here about our gang's citywide meth ring?
What? No, break the laws. They shouldn't exist anyway.
Yeah.
It's being run by the Fortune Cookie Mafia, a gang that's discovered that fortune cookies can change the course of reality. Okay, I want a fortune cookie now too, thanks. When Rick starts provoking the workers there, they try to warn him to behave, but of course, why would Rick ever do that? Things escalate when they go on the offensive. Rick fights back and kills 5 of them.
All friendships end, especially new ones.
Well, maybe that's a fate the 2 of us still control.
It's like Rick just attracts trouble wherever he goes, including his own house.
Not so fast, Sanchez. It is I, Cookie Magneto.
What the fuck?
For some reason, all kinds of goofy villains want to take Rick on. An annoying villain named Pissmaster shows up at the Smith house and begins hitting on Summer.
Ooh, whole family's here. Who's that redhead? Wouldn't mind spraying her with a golden shower.
Oh my god, what? Hey!
Okay, that's it.
Jerry gets so mad he beats the guy up.
apologize to my daughter.
For what?
You know for what.
Sorry.
What kind of villain lets Jerry get the best of him? A really crappy one. Anyway, there's a few more villains where that came from. Rick kills Cookie Magneto, 40 squids, and an alien in this one.
Is that man dead?
Is everything in here confidential?
Everything but murder.
Then he's fine.
I'm a piece of garbage. Can you boost me up so I can hook my belt to the ceiling fan?
Rick was tired of having Mr. Poopy Butthole over, so he'd built a sentient robotic ghost to scare him off.
Unfinished business detected. Terminating body.
But then he kills Robo-Ghost. Now for the most unlikely alliance.
I'm gonna put my mind in your brain, and your mind in my brain. Then we'll see the real definition of waste, Jerry.
Rick and Jerry's minds were swapped while Morty gets kidnapped by Chuxley, a crime boss.
You big precious moron! Did you know the fuck? This is Morty, the kid who hangs with Rick Sanchez?
When they show up to save Morty, Chuxley tries to double-cross them, and we all know how much Rick hates that. So he and Jerry, still mind-swapped, kill Chuxley and 36 of his gangsters. Animal rights activists are going to hate this one. In this episode, we find out a big government secret.
In 1961, the CIA secretly relocated the Loch Ness monster to Lake Erie and replaced her bones with titanium.
Back in the 60s, the US government found the Loch Ness monster and buried her. But she's back and meaner than ever. And yes, the Loch Ness monster is a strong, independent woman. Or she was. Until Rick killed her too. But hey, at least the next one was for a good cause.
Rick, I gotta know, like, what's the secret ingredient? God, no, why? Why? No, why is it always this shit with you?
There's a planet where committing suicide leads to your organs turning into spaghetti. And it's a big business.
I understand your concerns, but look around. With what's coming in from intergalactic spaghetti trade, we've decreased our debt, are making a lot of money.
So much that the government has been spreading depression, so more people do it, and therefore there's more spaghetti.
They call that bridge the most scenic jump. There used to be safety rails. They melted them down for giant spaghetti strainers.
Which is really gross. Rick wants to shut it down, so he broadcasts Fred's tragic life story all across the planet so that everyone gives up the spaghetti.
Bon appetit.
The emotional gut punch did make everyone stop eating the stuff, but Fred was the sacrifice, and it was Rick's doing. Now for Rick's face-off with his biggest enemy.
What the fuck are you doing? Oh shit, Evil Morty! Should I grab the net?
Yes!
Rick and Morty, as well as Evil Morty, who's now on their side, finally track down Rick Prime's hideout.
Oh, the wife guy. Dead wife Rick. I'll tell you, this guy does not know when to quit.
Prime was ready. The guy set up a whole gladiator-style arena, and he's going to make all the Ricks he's captured fight each other to the death. Rick finally gets to have the moment he's longed for since Beth was a little girl, to make Prime pay for wiping Diane from every universe, but not before he delivers his iconic last words.
Admit it, you would have been me. I just walked into your garage before you walked into mine. But eventually, you did. You lived in my house.
Bloody hell. I don't think Rick's beat anyone up this bad with just his fists. Ever. I'm sure you're wondering, how has no one held Rick accountable? Well, they try in this next one.
I say we leave this thing in the street, deny any involvement, and just hope this blows over. Unless, of course, they play this exact clip on a screen in front of a jury with some kind of built-in bias.
Rick is finally being taken to court for all his crazy intergalactic shenanigans.
One of us tells only truths, the other only lies.
You ever fuck this guy's wife?
Yes. Well, how about that? He guessed right.
I forgive you.
His lawyer tries to prove his innocence by showing a clip of Rick and Morty going through a portal carrying body bags. In those bags are the bodies of Space Jam Rick and Space Jam Morty.
I killed the versions of us that were in Space Jam. Help me with the bodies.
Wow, how'd you do it, Rick?
It was easy, Morty. They welcomed death. They wanted out, Morty.
Why did he kill them? Apparently they were embarrassed of their own existence. Rick also killed 2 vampires in a flashback, as well as zombified Benjamin Franklin. This is just a tiny tip of the iceberg. They have no idea how much Rick has gotten up to. Even if he wanted to, Rick probably couldn't stop killing. Summer and Morty always need him in one way or another, like we saw in this next episode.
Christ, what a mess.
You need to fix this, Grandpa.
Morty gets fused to Summer's body through Rick's attribute slider, a device that you can use to turn down or up certain aspects of your personality, like intelligence. They turn into a weird Kawato-style parasite, and a Kawato trafficking ring run by Kevin then kidnaps Summer.
I make less than minimum wage and I got 5 kids!
Sorry, man. I guess I got really excited to beat someone up for information. Where'd you take her?
Rick, once again, has to save the day, and goes through a bunch of the ring's henchmen to get her, killing 4 of them, as well as Kenneth Kawato's Kawato.
So I'll let you in on my true secret. Those last 3 guys were chumps. I'm the real top dog.
Oh shit.
Complicated one to say 5 times fast, that. Now, on to a stunning display of Rick's stubbornness. Rick is once again on the hunt for a free and limitless energy source because he clearly didn't learn his lesson the last time.
Oh, you monster!
This time he ends up at Valhalla.
Oh shit, I'm dead, Rick.
To protect his infinite energy relay, he convinces the Vikings there that he is in fact Odin, and bombs their mess hall, which traps 50 of them in a crater.
I told you I was Odin, you faithless heretics!
Well, that's one way to keep them away from the energy relay. The only other problem in his way was the Pope, who had also had Bigfoot in his arsenal and wanted infinite energy for himself. It's true, he caused a lot of destruction, but in the next one he does plenty of saving.
All intelligence indicates there needs to be a surprise.
Which is why we need to plan it carefully. Why don't we turn things over to our assassin, Beth Sanchez?
Space Beth is part of a plan by the Defiants to assassinate the Gromflomite Queen, but they're taking forever to make her moves, so she goes in there on her own to take him out quickly, only to quickly realize she's bitten off way more than she can chew. And of course, she calls Rick for help. She and Rick find out a crazy scientist named Fantabulous killed the real queen and replaced her with a robot that'll release a fungus he created. The fungus was designed to turn them all into super buff ultra-flommulites.
Alright, should be pretty easy. We get in undetected, find the spore bomb, and portal it out of there. Step 1.
Rick and Space Beth disguise themselves as Gromflomites and go in and stop the queen from releasing the fungus. Rick kills 12 Gromflomites in battle, 4 more while trying to find a cure, and at least 15 Ultramflomites. He then bombs the place, killing Fantabulous and a bunch more Gromflomites, at least 50, until Rick gets involved with the Easter Bunny. After Jerry hits the Easter Bunny with his car, he starts turning into the Easter Bunny himself, which sounds very serious, but...
We gotta wash these sheets.
How about one more go before they dry?
Beth doesn't seem to mind. Rick freezes him so his transformation stops, while he and Morty go and get the cure.
Come on, Morty, to the Alps! Let's Indiana Jones!
They arrive at a Wicker Man-style place and get a hold of a precious egg. Space Christians approach them and ask Rick about the Easter rabbit.
He's clearly made contact with it.
My scan says you shit standing up. Says it gets on your legs.
Which leads to a fight in which Rick kills 9 Space Christians. And the count stands until Rick's search for hypercoal landed him in more trouble.
What do you think, Morty? A bunch of sleeping beauties? Wanna go tap on some glass?
That could be fun.
Rick and Morty hopped aboard a spaceship to steal some hypercoal, but ended up stuck there.
Oh boy, talk about a cryo crick in the neck. Hope my Schwanz still works.
Rick is pretending to be little boy Jimmy, who aged too fast in a cryo chamber, and Morty is Chak Chow.
Aren't we all, like, super rich?
Jimmy has really nice parents who just want him to be happy. Rick loves being in this place, and has the time of his life as a little boy. He enjoys it a little too much, if you ask me.
Chaco, are you crazy?
Get back here! We'll be speaking to your manager!
No, it's fine. Just jealous poor people.
In the meantime, Morty accidentally triggers an uprising of the Makeys, the working class people on the ship, and the Takeys, the rich people.
These two hacked the vault 30 minutes after you all started hypersleep.
So Jimmy's still alive? Fuck him! Where the hell is our money?
Both groups put aside their differences when they find out they've been robbed by the real Jimmy and Chak Chow, who go on a space race to get their money back, in which Rick kills 2 of the Takeys. And with all of that, we've got our final kill count. Yeah, if this guy ended up in jail for that, he'd be gone for a long-ass while. It's almost the same number of people on Earth right now. I guess murder is just another unpleasant reality when you're Rick Sanchez. But wait, even when this guy is not killing people, he is still just absolutely awful. Here are all the petty acts of Rick throughout the show. From turning himself into a pickle to vaporizing any dumb version of himself, these are petty acts of Rick Sanchez. We start with the petty acts that are another average day for Rick, and work our way up to the ones that reshape reality for the sake of his pettiness. In Season 3, Episode 3, Pickle Rick, yep, you guessed it, Rick decides to turn himself into a pickle.
I'm Pickle Rick!
At the start of the episode, Morty is preparing for a therapy session when he hears Rick's voice.
The garage, Morty! Come to the garage!
When he enters the garage, he finds Rick has turned himself into a pickle. Why? Because he can.
The reason anyone would do this, if they could, which they can't, would be because they could, which they can't.
Morty suspects that Rick did this just to avoid going to the therapy session, noticing a dangling syringe rigged to inject Rick the moment the others leave. Rick rejects the idea and claims the syringe is irrelevant.
Well, Morty, if you must know, the syringe is completely unrelated to this discussion.
Sure it is, Rick. Beth puts the syringe in her purse and leaves with Summer and Morty. Suddenly, a cat named Izzy appears and knocks him over, pushing him outside the garage and exposing Rick to the sun. Rick grudgingly states that dying inside a pickle form from the heat is the
mega genius equivalent of dying on the toilet.
Fortunately, a timely rain shower saves him from that fate, but flushes Rick into the sewer drain, forcing him to survive in the sewers. Rick creates a bit of pickle juice and lures a cockroach towards him.
Come get this delicious brine.
Bites its head off and uses it to fight other cockroaches, evade rats, and ultimately build an exoskeleton out of their remains. It's pretty brutal. It's kind of a reference to that old Iron Man cave scene.
My turn.
At the end of it, Rick even makes a jetpack to escape.
Pickle Rick!
At the counseling office, Beth talks about how Rick couldn't attend and how he is a genius, when suddenly Morty blurts out that Rick turned himself into a pickle.
His work is very...
He turned himself into a pickle.
Dr. Wong uses this idea to discuss why Rick turned himself into a pickle, which upsets Beth.
Fuck you.
Mom!
Fuck both of you too.
While making his escape, Rick accidentally ends up in a Russian Fort Knox, where Rick does the most diabolical act ever done on the show.
Get that parkour! Get that parkour!
When everything else fails, their leader calls upon a captured fighter named Jaguar to kill Rick.
Where is this pickle?
They begin fighting, leading to them both talking about their motives.
They have my daughter! There's nothing I won't do to see her again.
After finding out Jaguar's daughter is dead...
Jaguar's daughter is dead.
Huh, so you're a liar.
Rick decides to do a grand escape with the Jaguar after rigging the whole place with bombs.
Farewell, Solenia.
With a cool toss of a cigarette, he finally realizes maybe therapy isn't as bad, but he still isn't done acting petty. So as a final move of pettiness, Rick, now covered with blood and rat feces, shows up to the therapist only to disregard everything she says, telling her how dumb therapy is and later making fun of her with Beth in the car.
Therapist, man.
Weird breed.
I know the show is called Rick and Morty, but what Rick did with Summer in this next one will shock you. Something Ricked This Way Comes showcases what would happen if Rick took on the devil out of pettiness. It's another season 1 episode where Rick and Summer have an adventure away from Morty, who, this time around, is stuck with his dad, who insists Pluto is still a planet.
Of course Pluto's a planet, son. I learned that in the 3rd grade.
This is the first time we see Rick make the robot butler.
What is my purpose?
Pass the butter.
According to Dan Harmon, writer of Rick and Morty, the butter-passing robot Rick creates is a joke inspired by The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, with the idea being that your life is actually pointless, you just don't know it.
Life? Don't talk to me about life.
Summer's job at the creepy shop, Needful Things, is filled with references to various props, some of which are a hand on the floor that looks like Billy's gauntlet from Adventure Time, and a grey Pokeball on a shelf, because everyone loves Pokemon. But all of the items are cursed. For example, the typewriter that creates best-selling murder mysteries and then causes the murders to happen in real life.
Ooh.
Be quiet.
Rick walks in, takes one look at the guy, and goes,
"Are you the devil? A demon? Leprechaun?"
Grandpa Rick!
After the devil gives Rick a microscope, Rick figures out it's cursed to make you stupid, and reverse engineers a device to remove the curse. After curing Mr. Goldenfold, Rick goes about telling everyone in the shop about the curses on the artifacts, which leads to one of Rick's funniest lines.
It's all quite preposterous.
Oh, I say, good sir. Oh, harumph. Oh.
After having a slapping contest, Rick leaves the shop, but not before freeing a ghost lady from the vase. A few days later, we see Mr. Needful's business is going better than ever, only to find out that Rick has opened a pop-up shop to reverse the curses, ruining the devil's plans. Gotta say, out of all the petty acts, I'm kinda with Rick on this one. The devil tries to end it all, but Summer comes in at the last second to save him.
I may be the devil, but your grandpa is the devil.
Yep, that's Rick for you. Summer comes over to Rick's shop to tell him he won, and Mr. Needful tried to off himself, which makes him even happier, fueling his petty ego.
He tried to kill himself.
Seriously? Holy crap!
Now with the devil gone, Rick is left with a multi-million-dollar business to run. Oh wait, Rick just let it all on fire with people inside.
I just got bored. Everybody out.
Summer then helps the devil rebrand with an online store, needful.com. When the devil betrays Summer, she says,
"You're Zuckerberging me?"
I was Zuckerberging people before Zuckerberg's balls dropped.
"I've been Zuckerberged," a reference to Mark Zuckerberg allegedly screwing over his partners.
I was your only friend. Yet one friend.
Summer, feeling betrayed by the devil, asks Rick for help. He's watching ball fondlers again on interdimensional cable. Rick and Summer decide to juice up on steroids and go beat up the devil, who's giving a Steve Jobs-style tech presentation and wearing a turtleneck. On the way back, Rick and Summer go on to beat up others they don't like, just for fun. If this left you speechless, then wait until you hear what Rick does to someone that invades his personal space. Or should I say, personal toilet. Yikes, now that's a line even I wouldn't cross. Of all the episodes, only a few reveal his true nature, quite like The Old Man and The Seat. The episode opens with Rick doing something rare, being excited, even giddy.
If you'll excuse me, I've got a quick solo adventure to go on, and this one will not be directed by Ron Howard.
To visit a remote planet that he's transformed into an oasis of beauty and solitude. Why? To use his personal, custom-built, state-of-the-art toilet. To where Rick can be alone with his thoughts, away from the incessant noise of the universe, and most importantly, away from people.
I quit, I'm gay, and I love Xander.
But Rick's private paradise is shattered when he discovers something unthinkable. Someone else has used his toilet. That simple act makes Rick furious, to the point that he starts hunting down his toilet admirer in a full-on sci-fi detective saga, in which Rick uses poop samples to analyze the culprit's DNA.
Time to meet your maker.
He travels across galaxies, inserts himself into an alien war just to extract delivery records and impersonates a lieutenant commander.
Oh, hold on.
My apologies, Lieutenant Commander.
To track down a man who just needed a place to go number 2.
You dropped that.
I'll have to call you back.
Where do you want to die?
That man turns out to be Tony, who just stumbled upon the toilet and used it, unaware of its personal significance. He even apologizes for his actions, and explains that his wife is dead and that he's a shy pooper, and that was the reason why he used Rick's nice toilet. Rick gives him a long look before opening a portal to another dimension where Tony's wife lived, bringing that version of Tony over to explain he used an awesome toilet that day too.
Oh, I pooped on a really awesome toilet I found.
Disgusted, Rick shoves the other Tony back to his dimension, and Tony wonders if Rick's not going to kill him. Rick shouts,
"Don't tell me what to do!"
setting a bomb up on the conference table that poops up a middle finger after stinking the whole room up. Later, Rick gets an alert that Tony has returned to poop on the toilet, so Rick gets into a giant robot version of himself to confront Tony.
Oh, so you like being alive. So why the fuck are you back here?
The two get into an argument, with Tony fearlessly telling the giant Rick that pooping is a bid for control, a way to protect that one thing from a universe that takes whatever it wants.
You need someone to give you permission to live.
What the? I thought you were a shy pooper.
And, in classic Rick fashion, he turns around, pulls his pants down, and sits on Tony.
Oh, wait, you're actually gonna. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Tony opens his eyes to a cloudy toilet heaven and is greeted by his wife. Both God and his wife encourage him to poop with them, but Tony grows more dissatisfied and sad the more they insist. Turns out Tony is hooked up to an artificial machine when his body twists itself around to choke him with the breathing tube. Before he can die, Rick comes to cut him out. Tony looks around at all the various people trapped in a prison Rick built, where they could live their wildest dream, while leaving Rick out of them. Tony hits the nail on the head with the realization that they're people Rick refuses to kill and refuses to let into his life. Pettily, Rick opens up a portal and tells him it's Tony's last chance, since he rejected the heaven Rick had offered. Amused, Tony tells Rick he'll be seeing him, offering his friendship. But then we see the episode take a shocking turn. Later, when Rick visits Tony's office, still trying to get back at him by giving him diarrhea-inducing chocolates and letting him use the toilet, he discovers Tony had died in a skiing accident.
He crashed into a tree space skiing down Mount Space Everest.
After his encounters with Rick, Tony had decided to take risks again, to live freely. That very act, the thing that Rick could never do, cost him his life. Rick goes to Tony's funeral and gives his dad $8 billion, but still refuses to acknowledge Tony as his friend.
It's hard losing a friend.
Fuck you.
What?
He's not my friend.
Rick, left alone once again, returns to his toilet, activating a pre-recorded hologram meant as another petty joke for Tony.
There's our guy. Congrats, Tony. Have fun with your stupid toilet that you get to use all by yourself now.
He just sits, soaking in the loneliness and the weight of his choices. This episode is a masterclass in how Rick uses his pettiness to mask his pain and loneliness. Rick's overreaction, his need for total control. A man who would rather wage war over a toilet than admit he's lonely and wants Tony to be his friend. But that was just Rick dealing with his own self. How he traumatizes Morty in this next one to satisfy his own ego is even crazier. Pettiness, and just how far he will go to prove a point. It all starts with a classic Rick and Morty adventure, in which Rick has everything laid out for a perfect heist. From automatic parking to a classic cool guy's entrance to the deal.
Interesting choice of meeting place, Rick.
You like it? My grandson had notes.
But don't worry if the deal goes south, Rick always comes with a backup plan.
Let's just end it. Quick death, come on.
Oh, man.
Okay, even I was disappointed in Rick. This is the kind of idea kids have, making their perfect heist. Wait, we have fake bones too? I take my words back.
Holy shit! What kind of psycho? His own grandson.
Morty, meanwhile, couldn't care less. He's done with the nonsense. Rick could just evaporate the other party and call it a day.
We're getting to the bottom of this.
Jesus fucking Christ, enough already!
But I suppose he was looking for more of a thrill. But Morty, frustrated, impulsively kills them and exposes Rick's entire plan. The ride home is awfully silent until Rick, incapable of admitting his fault, decides to poke the bear.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Just admit it was a shitty idea!
Now, back in the garage, Morty mocks Rick, calling his plan stupid, and tricks him into making a video game-style save point gadget.
Aha! You can't do it!
I can do anything.
It's 3 a.m. When Rick calls Morty back to the garage. He confesses to Morty about failing, admitting his idea was stupid, and then shoots him in the chest. Okay, time to switch to a new dimension.
Because I fucking did it!
Wait, Rick had made the save point. Phew. Morty starts testing the limits of his newfound freedom, from pantsing his math teacher to sampling every flavor of ice cream to doing whatever the hell he wants. Like dying multiple times trying to jump into a sewer. He just uses the remote for fun, silly things. But eventually Morty meets a girl at a coffee shop that he really likes, and he uses the device to perfect his first impression. Their relationship has its ups and downs like any relationship, but it seems like this is the happiest Morty has ever been. That is, until Morty and his girlfriend are involved in a horrific plane crash that mirrors the 1993 movie Alive. Here's a fact for you. It's based on the real-life crash of Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571 into the Andes Mountains. After eating some of their fellow passengers, Morty makes the long, icy trek back to the severed tail of the airplane, where he finds the remote as well as a cell phone. He wakes up in the hospital, having been recused, and it seems like he and his girlfriend can return to their everyday lives after the crash. Until Jerry messes it up by accidentally clicking the remote. Now Morty has to start all over again at his last save point, right outside the coffee joint, looking like a damn fool in front of the woman who no longer knows him. That by itself would be pretty messed up. I mean, they survived a horrific plane crash and cannibalized their friends together. Morty, filled with emotions, lets it all out to his not-yet-girlfriend, and gets pepper sprayed in return, accidentally falling onto the device and saving. No perfect setup, no perfect life with his dream girlfriend. Morty finally breaks down. He confronts Rick, confessing the horror of what he's lost, and here, Rick drops the real bombshell.
Without consequences, you know? You feel me?
Wow, that's a beautiful thought, Morty, but no, there were definitely consequences.
There were no save points. The device wasn't resetting time, but instead was teleporting Morty to alternate dimensions where everything was identical, except that their Morty was instantly killed and replaced with ours. Every action, every consequence was permanent. To make matters even darker, for Rick to test the remote earlier in the episode, he would have had to have killed himself and his Morty in cold blood. Rick then gives Morty the option to erase what happened to all of those other Mortys by forcing the timelines to merge and average into one cohesive probable timeline. Morty agrees, and I gotta say, that looks like it sucks. To make things worse, a SWAT team and a bunch of protesters show up to confront Morty for all the horrible things he thought he wasn't doing. They're out for blood.
Well, I'm stumped. Seems like there's no way out of this one. Unless...
God damn it.
Yeah.
Rick makes Morty kiss his acid vat and dive back in, forcing him to use Rick's preferred tactic to avoid consequences. He insulted the acid vat idea, and Rick made him live through a morality torture simulator just for punishing Morty for mocking his idea. But let's move on to when Rick made a whole universe just to charge his own battery. Rick, Morty, and Summer exit a theater showing the Ball Fondlers movie, with Rick telling them all the pros and cons of this alternate timeline. Basically Australia, with better ice cream. When Rick tries to start the engine, he realizes the car battery is dead, but instead of calling AAA, he and Morty travel to the Microverse because, for Rick, a car battery is a portal to a Microverse full of sentient workers who have no idea they're charging the battery of his ship. While Summer stays in the ship, as it is given the instructions by Rick to
Ship! Keep Summer safe!
Keep Summer safe.
Keep Summer safe, just remember that bit for later. While traveling, Rick talks about the Microverse, and Morty calls it slavery with extra steps. When greeted by the Microverse's inhabitants, Rick gives all of them a middle finger and tells Morty that the gesture's meaning is peace among worlds. Nice one, Rick. But Rick's excitement is short-lived, because when they meet the president, he tells them that the Zeep Zanflorp has invented a new technology that makes the Google boxes useless.
I would love to see it!
And takes them to meet Zeep. Zeep pretends not to remember Rick, which is already strike 3 for Rick's ego. Zeep takes Rick and Morty to enter his miniverse, which was created almost exactly like Rick's Microverse. Rick immediately criticizes him, calling it slavery.
That just sounds like slavery with extra steps!
Well, at least Rick is self-aware. Rick then asks the president about scientists working on projects similar to the Microverse and gets Morty and Zeep to meet Kyle. Kyle explains his project's concept, which turns out to be similar to the Microverse and the Miniverse. Comment below if you also thought this episode was going to have infinite universes like I did. However, the Teenyverse is not advanced enough to support the complicated societies. When he gets the gist of Kyle's invention, Zeep realized that Rick created his universe the same way.
Did you create my universe? Is my universe a miniverse?
Microverse!
Teenyverse.
Rick and Zeep start fighting while on the side, and Kyle begins to have a mental breakdown after finding out the truth. Kyle commits suicide by flying his cube ship into a nearby mountainside, leaving everyone else trapped in the Teenyverse. Rip Kyle. Rick and Zeep build 2 separate caves in the mountains. Morty suggests they work together to escape the Teenyverse, but Rick and Zeep refuse to cooperate, causing Morty to finally lose patience and go to live with the tree people.
I'm gonna go into the wilderness, and I'm gonna make a new life for myself among the tree people!
Months later, as Rick and Zeep battle, destroying both of their mech-like wooden suits, Rick has finally met someone as petty as himself. Suddenly, the tree people surround them, with Morty as their leader. He tells Rick that he misses home.
You have to get us the f*** out of here!
That he's done waiting around, telling Rick and Zeep that they're going to put aside their feud and create the technology necessary to get them home. Rick and Zeep begin to grow a bond as they work on the project, and finally return to Kyle's lab. Zeep slowly walks backward into an elevator to try to escape, but Rick blocks the door. As both begin to race each other to see who will destroy the other's universe first, Rick tells Morty that he secretly implanted him with a chip and injected his bloodstream with nanobots that gave him the power to turn into a car. Man, where do I sign up for that? So, after one final fight between Rick and Zeep, with Rick winning, Rick and Morty exit the battery to a greatly traumatized Summer. Because the ship took Keep Summer safe quite literally, it killed a civilian, made a ghost baby, and even made a peace treaty with the spiders. And we finally get the big reveal that the battery is working again. That was pure evil. We can't expect anything less from Rick, can we? But whilst getting the ice cream, Rick finds that the ice cream has flies put into it due to the treaty, making all of Rick's efforts useless. Outside, the Spider Queen can be seen peacefully enjoying her ice cream, so at least someone can still enjoy the world's best ice cream. But doesn't end there, because wait till you find out what happens when you do something as simple as forgetting to return this guy's charger. The episode opens up with an alternate reality, where everyone seems to be a little too obsessed with phone chargers and returning them on time. Summer has somehow become a world leader, while Morty is a scarred ex-soldier that has nothing to live for. It's all about to change, because Summer managed to find a glitch in the system, something that would make phone chargers obsolete. And just like that, Morty and Summer are able to jump back into their reality. But how did they get there? Well...
Rick put us in a simulated reality to teach us a lesson about taking his phone charger and not giving him back, and then he fell asleep and forgot about us for the Matrix equivalent of 17 years.
Talk about petty. In the usual cases, Rick would have immediately erased mind-breaking memories like this from their heads. However, this time, he's forced to listen to his daughter and let Summer and Morty live as their older, more mature selves. I mean, what could go wrong? Well... A lot could go wrong. First, we follow Summer. She believed that she could go to high school and show everyone just how smart she is now. However, the girl soon realizes that everyone there is just too childish for her. This is when she actually ends up talking candidly to her mom instead.
You got married in there?
And the two realize they're actually pretty similar.
Oh my god, I'm totally turning into my mother. Goal.
Meanwhile, Rick is actually impressed by the new Morty, because he seems to be a lot more useful than the version he's used to having. I mean, the poor guy did spend multiple years fending for himself in prison and eventually saving lives as a firefighter. But this is where things start to go a bit south, because Beth starts to realize that her daughter has actually become quite odd. The 17-year-old won't stop making fun of her own mother and trying to motivate her in all the wrong ways. As for Morty, he still doesn't seem all that bad, and Rick loves it. Who doesn't want a grandson that can upgrade your truck for you? But when Rick randomly lends his charger to Beth, Morty starts to lose his grip on reality again. The little boy recalls how he could feel pain but not die while fighting in the phone charger war. Beth, finally realizing Rick was right, tries to delete Summer's memories of the Matrix, but fails.
Not how it works. You gotta press it up against their head.
You just tried to mind blow me?
Oh, and this new Summer goes all GTA on us, stealing a car in broad daylight to run away.
Did you just hotwire that car?
Yes.
You think Summer has gone wild? Wait till you hear about our boy Morty. He shows off his reverse charge technology to Rick and puts him in a simulation about not putting people in simulations instead, stealing the new truck he was just working on. While Summer was just running away to get some freedom and join a nice little pottery class, Morty's objective is a little more serious, as he seems to be driving towards a nuclear power plant. The kid is having flashbacks once again, reliving how his best friend in that world died yearning for a charger. Just as he's about to end it all, Summer jumps in and tells him about how everything he went through in that world was actually planned. And just like that, the kids are finally back to normal. But then this guy had to come and ruin it all.
This is exactly why you shouldn't steal your grandpa's invention!
Oh, and Rick was able to easily escape that Matrix by creating a glitch inside. He shows up to save the day after things go south, and the two kids finally agree to lose these memories. Yup. Almost destroying your grandchildren's brains because they forgot to return a charger does sound like classic Rick. But this next one goes even more insane because Rick kinda made up the entire episode. A quick warning about this one, things get really confusing, so just bear with me here. What would you do if a heist genius tried to outsmart you? Well, most people might just let it go. But this is Rick Sanchez we're talking about here. The episode opens up with Rick and Morty on one of their usual adventures, when Rick discovers that the treasure he was after got stolen by Miles Knightley. My guy was absolutely furious and wanted to get back at this Joker no matter what. Upon arriving on his planet, Rick discovers that he's holding a Heist-con. Of course, he thinks this is the lamest thing ever and doesn't want to attend as a guest.
Or we could sneak in like professionals.
Can't wait.
And now, this is where the pettiness begins. Because Rick literally goes across the universe to set up a complete team just to get into the Heist-con as professionals.
Thanks for doing this, guys.
What's the job?
That was it. Bye.
Yeah, was all the job was. Anyway, Rick and Morty finally confront Miles, and this is where he challenges the mad scientist to a heist-off. Oh, and it's revealed that Rick's group from before completely betrayed him. But wait, Rick already predicted the whole thing and actually went as far as building a robot called Heistatron. This bot is built to commit heists, and the worst part, it can control others to do its bidding. Now, this seemed like the perfect petty revenge for Rick. He proved that heists are lame, destroyed every bit of Heist-con, and literally killed Miles Knightley. But, like usual, Rick's actions come back to bite him in the ass. Heistatron turns on him and gets so powerful that it literally starts to destroy entire planets. Now, Rick must find a way to destroy it, so he recruits even more members for a new crew that will save the universe. And now Rick reveals his brand new invention meant to counter Heistatron's reveal sequence. Meet Randotron.
Let's get ready to not rumble. Bet you didn't see that coming.
So, what's the plan now? Well, the plan is that there is no plan. But this is when Rick discovers that Heistatron has already been hiding on Earth and managed to take control of it. Just as he's about to find a way to fix it, Randotron activates and sends the crew out to do another random thing again. In the end, Rick is able to come face to face with Heistatron, but it isn't over just yet. Rick reveals that Heistatron was Randotron this whole time, and then we go back and forth with both of them revealing different switcheroos, and when Heistatron is finally dead, Randotron jumps in to reveal that he was Heistatron this whole time. This has got to be the most confusing episode of the show. I just covered this whole thing, and I have no clue what's happening. Anyway, they argue for multiple hours about who's controlling who, and then Heistatron finally blows up. We haven't even gotten to the big reveal yet, because this whole time, Morty was excited about a heist story idea he was planning to pitch to Netflix. And by the end of it all, he's lost all enthusiasm. And this is when the real shocker comes, because this entire episode was actually planned by Rick and his pettiness to make sure Morty finds Heist to be lame and doesn't leave him for Netflix. If you think that's crazy, wait to hear about how Rick replaced Morty with 2 crows. We get one of Rick's most absurdly petty moves ever in Season 5, Episode 9. After Morty sneaks around dimensions cleaning up Rick's countless messes and playing the superhero, honestly, Morty deserves Employee of the Month. He returns to the garage only to realize Rick had marked the portal fluid to catch Morty red-handed.
Son of a bitch, he marked it!
Panicking, Morty desperately tries to hide the evidence by mixing lime juice into the portal fluid. Come on, Morty, you're smarter than that. He has a thing or two to learn from evil Morty, evidently. Morty accidentally spills this concoction onto his hand, creating a tiny portal on his palm. And here we meet Nick, a random guy with a thigh portal he calls his stash hole.
I had the ultimate stash hole, and now I got a kid in my thigh.
Nick quickly tries to convince Morty that Rick's relationship with him is toxic, which, honestly, is a fair point. When Rick finds out about Morty's soda stunt, he decides it's time for the ultimate petty move. Wheel of better things than Morty. Replacing Morty as his sidekick, he literally spins a wheel of candidates and finally lands on...
Come on, anything but Morty. Let's go. Come on, baby. No whammies. Stop.
2 crows. Yep. Rick replaces his grandson with actual birds, just to prove how replaceable Morty is.
In fact, I've given you a very clear metric of your worth. 2 crows. Note, I didn't say 3.
Later, Rick showcases his ultimate bird of the wire move, to rub it into Morty even more.
Yeah!
Of course, Rick being Rick, he doesn't just stop there. He goes full crow whisperer, traveling to a planet filled with highly intelligent crow aliens who teach him the ways of crow enlightenment. All this just to dunk on Morty. But naturally, the crow aliens discover Rick's crow experiment was nothing more than an elaborate joke.
But I see 2 crows written right here beside Gene with donkey brains, half a Paul Giamatti, and sentient shit.
Who saw that one coming? Starting a crowvolution.
Let the crowvolution begin!
Meanwhile, Morty teams up with his new buddy Nick, dubbing themselves the Portal Boys, and wrecking Rick's garage in rebellion. Eventually, Morty realizes Nick's vendetta against Rick is rooted in a bizarre lie, forcing Morty into a dramatic act of literally severing his own portal-connected hand to save himself. Talk about commitment to the bit. On the other hand, Rick goes back to save his crows and helps Morty regrow his hand back. Rick eventually admits to Morty, in an incredibly rare moment of honesty, that the entire crow saga was a joke taken way too far. But instead of learning from this, Rick doubles down, dramatically rejecting Morty and flying away in a crow ship, declaring his independence with his new feathered sidekicks, launching the short-lived Rick and 2 Crows era. But even Rick's pettiness has limits. In the very next episode, his crows quickly realize they're merely Rick's rebound sidekicks and bail. All of this nonsense, just for Rick to learn absolutely nothing. Classic Rick. You've heard of the Avengers. Now get ready for the Vindicators. Cue the theme song. Acting as the greatest superhero team in the world, they deal with all kinds of world-ending threats. I mean, the ones that are too trivial for Rick himself to deal with anyways. When the episode begins, we see Morty helping Rick out. Just like usual, he's not into that. But that is when it happens. The Vindibeacon starts glowing. Want to know what that means? Well, the universe is in danger, and these heroes are calling Rick in for his help. This is where we learn just how much Morty respects these guys, and just how little Rick thinks of them.
The Vindicators only call when the universe itself is at stake. They're the first line of defense against evil. They're the guardians of the unguarded.
They're the writers of their own press releases, Morty.
And that's where all the pettiness starts. You see, Morty ends up using his ticket to choose the adventure this time, and Rick is forced to go with him. Now we finally cut to the adventure itself. As the Vindicators are trying to explain their mission involving some guy named Worldender that's, well, out to end the world? Rick doesn't seem too impressed. As he's busy passing his comments, another new hero going by Noob Noob actually finds it quite amusing.
God damn! Thanks, Noob Noob. This guy gets it.
This is when the leader of these heroes, Maximus Renegade Star Soldier, shows up, and Morty absolutely loves this guy. But Rick, like always, has nothing nice to say. And when the whole thing is finally over, Morty opens up to his grandpa.
I think the personality conflict might have been you?
And let's just say he hits the nail in the coffin. My guy is embarrassed of his grandpa and says that the Vindicators are heroes of his, even if Rick thinks they are unremarkable. Yikes. This hit so hard that poor old Gramps had to go and get a drink. And we all know Rick's drinking sessions don't end too well. Well, the next day he's found sleeping naked in their meeting room with diarrhea all over him. I mean, that's not too bad considering this is Rick we're talking about. Anyway, Star Soldier gives Morty his jacket to show him even more respect, and Noob Noob, well, he's left behind to clean up Rick's mess. Now as his hero team approaches the World Ender's lair, they have to wake Rick up again for his help. But that unfortunately comes with a side of annoying remarks.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're right. Whoa, real serious. Gotta take it real serious.
But walking a little further, the team finds out that World Ender is already dead.
What the fuck? It's World Ender.
However, the danger is far from over.
Rick, whoever did this is an even bigger threat than World Ender. We can't leave now.
He's right.
A screen pops up revealing that the mastermind behind all of this was Rick all along. You see, in a fit of rage and having had too much to drink, the mad scientist ended up defeating the biggest villain of the universe and setting up his own death traps for the Vindicators instead. The traps are actually quite simple, but of course, all of this is too humiliating for the greatest superhero team of the universe. So yeah, the leader tries to escape first and dies immediately. Meanwhile, Morty is the only one being reasonable and actually solving these petty games. In the blink of an eye, Crocbot is dead as well, and the other heroes start fighting among themselves, revealing their true colors. Game 3 is quite simple. Just hit some 3-pointers and you can move on to the next game. But yet again, these dumb heroes kill another one of themselves for no reason.
Stop!
Whoa, didn't see that coming.
On to the final game. Rick wants them to figure out what's the one thing he values about the Vindicators. Of course, it's probably Morty himself. But when Morty walks into the trap, the real thing that Rick values most in the universe is revealed. Noob Noob.
God damn! Thanks, Noob Noob.
The one hero who stood up for him while everyone else disregarded his jokes. Now that's what makes someone a true hero, and cleaning up diarrhea. This is when Supernova reveals her true colors, and kills off Million Ants as well. So yeah, the new Vindicators team now just consists of Noob Noob and Supernova. All this just because of one drunk scientist's pettiness. But hey, at least he set up a good party right after the whole thing was over. Yup, now we know not to let this guy drink too much if we didn't already. But killing off heroes is nothing compared to our next act of pettiness, because in this one, Rick literally destroyed society. Only Rick Sanchez could collapse an intergalactic government, drive a president to suicide, and destabilize the currency of an entire galaxy. In Season 3, Episode 1, The Rick Shank Rickdemption, Rick delivers one of the most consequential, yet hilariously petty acts of Rick's entire career. At the end of Season 2, Rick voluntarily turns himself into the Galactic Federation. But of course, with Rick, nothing is ever that simple. His capture allows the Federation to take control of Earth, with aliens walking the streets, humans punching time cards, and Rick imprisoned in a simulation, being interrogated by an agent, played by one of my favorite actors, Nathan Fillion.
You want me to get intel out of the smartest mammal in the galaxy, you better give me a decent brainalyzer.
All of this for the secrets of his greatest invention, the portal gun. After making some fart jokes, but not before getting a taste of that sweet, sweet Szechuan sauce.
Yeah, I'd like to get a 10-piece McNugget and a bunch of the Szechuan sauce.
Man, I really wanted to try that sauce so bad when I first saw this episode. I actually managed to find a McDonald's selling some a couple years back, so I have, hidden away somewhere. Sealed, perfect, precious. a sachet of that Szechuan sauce. Did any of you guys out there find any? And did you actually like it? That's probably a more important question. Anyway, we get to see Rick's past for the first time. But Rick fabricates a lot of it to trick the agents by uploading a virus into the Federation's mainframe disguised as his portal formula. This virus allows him to transfer consciousness between bodies, body hopping through guards and scientists until he arrives at the brain of the Federation's central intelligence.
He's a spy, blow him up. I'm gonna go take a shit.
Once there, he collapses the entire economy. With a few keystrokes, Rick devalues the Galactic Federation's currency, Blemflarks, to 0. The entire system grinds to a halt, and chaos ensues as everyone starts to panic about not having money. However, the Federation president calms everyone down and provides them with a solution. The new currency is quickly decided to be pants, so we hear Morty saying in the background,
He who controls the pants controls the galaxy!
this has to be one of the most effective acts of economic warfare ever in a TV show.
No longer will the insects have domain over surface world!
If you think all of these other acts were petty, get ready for the one last one on our list, which is by far the pettiest Rick has ever been in the series. In Season 5's Rick Mirai Jack, we finally find out the truth about our Ricks past through evil Morty. We see that the rogue Ricks have started to make Mortys by manipulating timelines in order to hide themselves from the Citadel and selling these Mortys to the supply market. The Rick and Morty multiverse we thought was truly endless and wild? Yeah, turns out that was just a fake world made by Rick himself. The central finite curve that completely changes how we see Rick from just a space explorer to a scared, insecure boss of his own smart guy playground. The creation of the central finite curve is directly linked to our Rick's sad past. After another Rick tragically killed his first Diane and Beth, our Rick, C-137, went on a furious hunt across many universes. During this search for revenge, he met countless other Ricks, and the crazy part was that many of them were just as smart as he was, or even smarter. They were rivals, equals, and real dangers. This experience of endless possibilities, where he wasn't always the smartest, was too much for him to handle. Rick goes on a rampage, killing thousands, if not more, of other Ricks. Evil Morty explained that many Ricks worked together to create the central finite curve, but our Rick and other top Ricks were the main ones. Their goal was simple: to block off a special part of the multiverse. Inside this curve, every single Rick is guaranteed to be the smartest person in their own universe. It was a planned move, like drawing a line on a map, to ensure no worlds existed where Rick wasn't the smartest. This came from feeling unsafe and a huge need to be in control. By separating himself and all other Ricks inside this bubble that only served them, Rick made sure he would never meet someone as smart or even smarter than himself. He never had to worry about someone truly questioning him, criticizing what he did, or even just beating him in his own game. The central finite curve became the perfect place for his petty actions, his nothing matters way of thinking, and his arrogant belief that he's better than everyone. All of this could happen freely, without risk of being outsmarted. It proved how just incredibly petty Rick is, and how deeply he fears being held accountable. At the end of the episode, we see evil Morty tearing a hole in the finite curve, along with destroying the Citadel and all the Ricks in them. And with that, that is all the petty acts of Rick Sanchez. Sheesh, this guy's brain, well, works different. And normal people like us can definitely not understand him at all. Here's every time Rick got outsmarted by someone else in the show.
I'm the smartest man in the universe. Probably not even wrong, but that's just it. I'm not a man. I'm God.
Yeah, right. Despite being a self-proclaimed god and the smartest man in the universe, right. Rick is actually kinda dumb. Here are all the times our guy got outsmarted by other characters. Starting with the time a Morty got the better of him, and he didn't even know it for 4 whole seasons. Not only was Rick C-137 outsmarted in this episode, but so were multiple other Ricks. When Rick got arrested by the Council for the murders of 27 alternate Ricks, he didn't do it.
What? That's ridiculous. I'm obviously being set up.
But the evidence against him looked pretty damning.
but it appears you alone have been going to the exact timelines and locations in which the murders occurred.
His portal gun history showed that he'd been in all the dimensions where the murders happened around the time they took place. That's pretty nasty in terms of location and potential means. Never mind, I suppose, motive, but that's 2 out of 3. As we said, damning as far as circumstantial evidence goes. C-137 escaped with Morty so they could find the real culprit and clear his name.
Council of Rick sentences you to the machine of unspeakable doom, which swaps your conscious and unconscious minds. Also, every 10 seconds, it stabs your balls. I've heard enough.
He and Morty eventually ended up at Evil Rick's lair, and it looked like they'd finally caught the guy.
Ooh, look at you, C-137. Aren't you a tough customer? The slow clap? Really?
Or had they? After Morty was thrown in a cell with a bunch of other imprisoned Mortys, he stood up and united all of them, convincing them to take their power and break free, which wasn't as hard as you might have thought.
We're Mortys! We're not defined by our relationships to Rick! Our destiny is our own! This sounds like something the one true Morty might say.
I guess Evil Rick didn't bother putting too many security constraints in place because he never even imagined Mortys were capable of such a thing. But they have their moments. I'll give them that.
Do your worst, you little bastards! Kill me! Do it! Do it! Morty, thank God! Get me out of this!
Rick got really lucky here. It was only with Morty's help that he got free, killed Evil Rick, and proved his innocence to the Council.
The Council apologizes for its false accusation, and in the way of reparations for our terrible mistake, we would like to compensate you with this voucher for a free replacement Morty in the event that your current Morty should... guys?
But later, while the Ricks were investigating the lair, they discovered Evil Rick was being controlled remotely. But by who?
This Rick was being controlled remotely, puppeteered by somebody else. This is the receiver. Yeah, but where's the transmitter?
It was Evil Morty all along. And what's crazy is that our Rick totally bought the whole Evil Rick thing.
I don't like the look of that Rick, Morty. We gotta escape.
I mean, a Rick fits the role way better than a Morty, or so we all thought. No one had a clue it was him pulling the strings from behind the scenes the whole time.
Hey man, you seem to know how this place works. Is there any way we could shut down that grid and rescue all those Mortys outside? It would be pointless. Mortys have no chance of defeating a Rick.
That is, until the next time Rick and Morty find themselves at the Citadel.
Rick C-137, President Morty requests you join him for dinner.
Whoa, seriously?
Evil Morty invited Rick and Morty to his office for dinner. He was the new Citadel president.
Look at this, Morty. They really did make you the president.
And I hate him every day for it, but wow, Rick C-137. Now that's a guy to move your schedule around for.
Rick had no idea while eating that his brain was being scanned.
Like I said, would have been a big help for you to tell me, but I should have everything I need from you now.
No cap, this episode really made me want to spin off of just focusing on Evil Morty. Like, this whole thing was so cool. This kid was 10 steps ahead of everyone. Rick had no idea what he was planning until it was way too late, and most of his plan had already come into fruition.
You can't scan an entire brain over appetizers.
Oh, most of yours got scanned a long time ago. You probably don't remember.
He was the undefeated champion of the show, not stopped by Evil Rick, the Council, or C-137.
I only know one man that ever hacked my portal gun, and it turned out it was Evil You.
Yay, he's all caught up.
It's a lot easier to get away with such grand schemes when no one even suspects you have the intelligence to pull something like that off. He even managed to pull off a bloody purge.
Is that enough off the top?
No.
Just tyrannical dictator things, I guess. The old Council of Ricks was gone, and Evil Morty did everything he could to make sure no one got in his way. The Citadel had come under Evil Morty's rule. The ironic thing is, it was a system built to protect Ricks, and it was now in the hands of the guy who hated Ricks the most in the whole universe.
Think you're better than me?
Jesus, I hope so.
Rick actually put his grandkids in a simulation to teach them this lesson.
Remember, if you borrow his phone charger,
I know.
It's really important you give it back, even if you think he wasn't using it.
Kind of went overboard though. But hey, I wouldn't expect any less from Rick. He is our petty king after all. Side note, we do in fact have a video on how petty Rick was. Go watch it, it's great. Back to the topic at hand though, the simulation that Rick put them in was absolutely insane. It was a country called Zigerian, and their whole lives revolved around, wait for it, phone chargers.
It's charging! Charging in the air!
Dear God, Summer Smith has made phone chargers obsolete!
All because they'd taken his charger and forgot to give it back to Rick.
Rick put us in a simulated reality to teach us a lesson about taking his phone charger and not giving him back, and then he fell asleep and forgot about us for the Matrix equivalent of 17 years.
They're teenagers. Of course they're going to do stuff like that. Come on, Rick. I would have just gotten another one and kept it hidden from them. The guy hid a whole sushi bar in his basement and he couldn't hide a charger. Anyway, Morty and Summer went through hell in that simulation.
Rick, we're sorry we stole your phone charger. We learned our lesson. Now let us out.
If that was gonna work, we would have been ejected by now.
You have the right to remain plugged in.
Oh, and Rick also dozed off after they went in. 17 years passed in there while he enjoyed his nap. Morty became an ex-con who joined the military and came out with intense PTSD.
You need a charger? Use mine.
Oh, okay. You sure?
Yeah, you're gonna give that back, right? Because I can't impress upon you how...
On the other hand, Summer became a successful tech CEO. But 17 years, man.
Saw you on the news. Guess it's been a while since you've had a normal meal.
By normal, you mean the spoon is dirty?
Both of them had a lot of trouble adjusting to their real lives once Rick woke up and pulled them out of there. Summer couldn't bear high school with the brain of a 34-year-old woman.
Cold much? You're nipping out.
Oh, come on. We don't have to do these teenage girl stereotypes.
Your buddy violates our code of conduct, Missy.
And Morty's PTSD would get triggered real easy. He went full Rambo mode too.
Full hearts, full charge.
She's coming down!
Sweet Christ! Power plant valley is breached! I repeat, breached!
Grandfather of the Year, am I right? Eventually, the only way to move forward was to wipe both of their memories of everything that happened inside. But still, that is so much unnecessary pain and trauma.
I'm an emancipated adult. I demand sovereignty over my mind and future. Don't let him reset us!
This is why I have bedtime wine.
Summer actually liked herself and wanted to stay as she was, but there was no way she could do normal 17-year-old stuff with that much life experience, and poor Morty was just suffering. To get back at Rick, they gave him a taste of his own medicine. Morty threw him into a simulation to teach him how wrong it was to put your grandkids in a simulation, and he did it pretty smoothly.
Try her out.
Charger spelled backwards. Cute. What's it do?
Pulls the charge right out of man's heart. Thanks for the ride, Rick.
Rick didn't even know what hit him. Even though Rick got out of there by creating another Matrix, it was still pretty well deserved, and Morty definitely pulled a fast one on it. Anyway, in this next one, a version of Summer got ahead of Rick. Rick had a device that let his body work while he slept, kind of like an autopilot mode.
Before I go to bed, I type a list of shit I want to get done. Then the somnambulator programs my unconscious body, or night person, to do it while I sleep.
When the rest of the family found out about it, they wanted it too.
Can my night person get me an ab stack like yours, Rick?
I'm gonna have my night person learn me Spanish so I can pass my test next week.
It was called the Somnambulator. At first, it seemed like a blast. Everyone was getting stuff done during their sleeping hours, including household chores. Jerry also became pen pals with his night self.
Night Jerry and I write letters to each other. It's super fun.
I also like Tori Amos. Hope you like our new pajamas.
What is the sun? Jerry, this isn't how you're supposed to use a night person.
Then Night Jerry told him that Night Summer had a simple favor to ask of them. She wanted them to start rinsing their dishes after dinner so they'd be easier to wash. Easy request, right?
Night Jerry said Night Summer would appreciate it if everybody could rinse off their plates after eating.
What?
You know, rinse the schmutz off after eating. Makes it easier to clean up later. What?
Rick didn't think so and was pissed off, arguing that they're supposed to do the chores that they didn't want to spend their waking time doing. We all know how Rick gets when he thinks his authority's being challenged.
Our job is not to make the night people's chores easier.
It's a reasonable request, Rick. Takes 2 seconds.
They exist only to do the shit we don't want to do, so until further notice, which will be never, request denied.
The Knight family hated this. They lashed out by breaking all the plates in the house.
They busted up all our dishes. What are we supposed to eat off of now, brains for shit?
You'd think at this point Rick would have just done the one simple thing they asked, but nope. He just got unbreakable plates from another planet. This was the final straw for the Knight family. They decided enough was enough.
Why won't you rinse your dishes?
It takes 2 seconds.
If you don't, the schmutz dries and makes the dish harder to clean.
They held Rick down and were about to make him eat the residue off their dirty plates.
Hey, what are you doing?
If you refuse to clean your dishes, then I will have to do it for you.
I don't know about you guys, but this scene was hands down one of the grossest and most terrifying of the entire show. Genuine creepiness. What followed was pure chaos.
Rick, there's been a pretty clear escalation down here. The Knight family stripped the house last night. Everything's gone, including the somnambulator.
The Knight family practically turned all of them into slaves and stopped them from leaving the house. Otherwise, they'd be out of the somnambulator's reach. Eventually, it's Knight Jerry that helps the family get back to normal.
Oh, thank you, Knight Jerry.
Anything to help Day Jerry's family. He's a very special person.
Ow! Hey! Ow!
All of this could have been avoided if Rick had just been a little cooperative and agreed to rinse the dishes. And I gotta say, he totally got what was coming to him. If only he'd listened to them, he'd still have his washboard abs and no one would have to do the dishes. Even though Rick got Prime in the end, it was not easy. Prime stayed one step ahead of him always and set up plenty of traps on the way too. Traps that were convincing enough to fool C-137, which is no mean feat.
Merging dimensions to consolidate my decoys, huh? Kinda first thought, but the craftsmanship, pretty impressive for a lesser Rick.
If it wasn't for evil Morty's help, Prime would probably still be somewhere out there.
Look at the scan array.
Don't touch!
Why would I touch it when I don't want it improved?
Improved?
You're hitting infinite targets. At least filter for probability stasis.
I was gonna. Duh.
At first, they captured a Rick who seemed like the real deal. They dragged him into the lab, strapped him down, and Rick genuinely believed that the moment he'd been waiting for was finally here. But, of course, it couldn't be that easy. Morty was so done with it all that he just triggered the termination sequence, thinking they were about to kill Prime once and for all.
Can I offer my 2 cents?
No!
Morty, no! Well, that's different.
They didn't, and instead the whole thing blew up in their faces. The Rick that they caught wasn't Prime at all, just bait. The moment Morty initiated the termination, a portal opened under them all and sucked them inside and took them to a prison full of other Ricks.
He killed my wife! We know! Son of a bitch! You killed my wife!
These Ricks were all hunters who'd also gone after Rick Prime. Things were looking pretty bleak. Then a pre-recorded message from Rick Prime played out for all the trapped Ricks. In it, Prime bragged about killing Diane across the entire multiverse using a weapon called the Omega device, which he sometimes refers to as the weapon too cool for a name.
Diane was wiped from all existence by the weapon too cool for a name. The Omega device. Known to inferiors as the Omega device.
He then pitted all the trapped Ricks against each other by telling them they all had to fight each other to the death. And whoever was the last Rick standing would get his precious Diane back.
One of you is going to get your Diane back. He's lying. He's lying. All you have to do is be the last Rick left.
Immediately, the fighting started. Every Rick desperate to get their Diane back. C-137 knew what was up.
Got that out of your system? He can't bring her back.
If only they'd listened to him. Rick and Evil Morty avoided the fighting, escaped the prison, and used information from the trap to locate Rick Prime's actual base.
Holy shit.
So that's the guy? You're exhausting.
Can't help it, I'm a rascal.
The confrontation got really ugly.
I'll kill you!
It took all three of them to overpower the man, and then C-137 beat him to death with his fists.
I made you. I showed you infinity. And what did you do with it? Hang out with my grandson? Raise echoes of my daughter?
Satisfying, but pretty damn grim. I know Rick finally won in this one, but Rick Prime still totally outsmarted him, and only thanks to Evil Morty did this whole thing turn out well for our Rick.
Should I just get this over with, or... Grandson.
Shitty, Grandpa.
Let's look at another time Rick totally messed up and only got by with a little help from Morty. Memory parasites took over the Smith household in this episode.
Summer, we're trying to sleep.
It was Tinkles!
It's not like they were super strong or deadly enemies. They just created a lot of confusion, since it was practically impossible to tell who was real and who wasn't, because they got into everyone's heads and put in false memories, ultimately convincing the Smiths that these weird new characters had always been around in their lives.
You and I are going to survive this.
Okay. Hey, we agreed. Never in the house.
Rick recognized the threat and immediately locked the house down, sealing it shut and activating blast shields so no one could leave or enter. That house is crazy. At first, this seemed like a solution.
Come on, Cousin Nicky, you heard Rick. We have to stay quarantined until we know that there's no more of these things.
I hear you, Morty. Back in Brooklyn, we got a saying, we're walking here!
But it turned out to be far from enough. Every time someone recalled a memory involving one of the parasites, more of those alien imposters appeared.
Ragu Baba, help me kill America!
Mr. Beauregard!
And to make it worse, they all multiplied like rats as soon as anyone recalled a memory with them. There were so many of them that soon there wasn't even room left in the house.
No! Shoot! Now look, it's like a Where's Waldo page. Can you find me? Check out all these zany characters.
So many crazy animated objects like Pencil Vesta, cartoonish personalities like Princess Sparkle and Hammer Eye. There was even a fake family member, Uncle Steve.
Someone's been spending too much time around glowing rocks, am I right?
They eventually began turning on Rick himself. Under pressure, Rick snapped.
Oh, no! Oh, get out of my head, parasite! No! Give me the gun! Give it back!
When one of the parasites accused him, Rick was overwhelmed and defeated.
Or maybe there's only one deceiver here. The person that keeps telling us the path to salvation is being held prisoner and mistrusting each other.
In a desperate gamble, Rick challenged Morty to shoot him, daring him to decide what was real.
Let us the hell out of here!
Why don't you make me implausibly naive pubescent boy with an old Jewish comedy writer's name?
In your face! Give me the gun!
But just as tensions reached a boiling point, Morty realized the crucial detail. The parasites could implant only pleasant memories.
I figured it out, Rick! The parasites can only create pleasant memories. I know you're real because I have a ton of bad memories with you.
That realization turned the tables immediately. They were able to tell who's who and killed all the parasites, leaving behind only the Smith family members. See, this is why I've said the kid always deserves more credit than he gets. He saved the day multiple times and never even got so much as a good job from his grandpa. I mean, come on, Rick. That was pretty good from Morty.
Holy crap, Morty, you're right.
Isn't that what you were trying to make me understand by yelling at me?
Well, yeah, took you long enough.
The whole time, Rick had no idea how to deal with the memory parasites. It was Morty who really saved the day here. Maybe Rick could have managed it if he went to therapy and did a little introspection. Rick hated being vulnerable so much that he turned himself into a pickle to avoid going with his family to their therapy session.
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom! Big reveal, I'm a pickle. What do you think about that? I turned myself into a pickle!
As the family was leaving, he claimed the transformation was just an experiment. But they weren't born yesterday.
What are you doing there, sweetie?
Well, I mean, you don't want to get pierced by a needle full of liquid unrelated to your situation. How's that going to help?
Can't argue with that.
Great.
There was a trigger mechanism right above his workbench, a syringe that would drop down once they left. It had anti-pickle serum, which Beth took with her, leaving Rick as...
I'm Pickle Rick!
Rick then suffered a series of unfortunate events. A cat knocked him down, he rolled into a sewer, and then he killed a bunch of roaches and rats to fashion himself an exoskeleton, Iron Man in the cave style.
Oh, yeah!
He left the sewer and ended up in a high-security compound and was forced to fight his way through armed agents.
Cool it, in the fuck's toilet is this?
Just a typical day in the life of Rick Sanchez, I guess. In the meanwhile, Dr. Wong guided Beth, Morty, and Summer through a family counseling session. She noticed Rick's absence and dug deeper into what it might mean for the family dynamic.
Let's open things up to the whole family, and let me ask this. Why do we think Grandpa turned himself into a pickle?
But this is where the whole thing turns sideways for Rick, because despite all his effort not to be present for the family therapy session, our guy accidentally ends up there anyway.
You must be Rick.
Mm-hmm. The therapist didn't sugarcoat it and did it in the most gentle way possible.
Rick, the only connection between your unquestionable intelligence and the sickness destroying your family is that everyone in your family, you included, use intelligence to justify sickness.
Rick used alcoholism, scientific genius, anything really, to get him out of confronting his feelings. Dr. Wong argued that his decision to turn himself into a pickle, rather than show up and be honest, revealed exactly what therapy was meant to fix. The avoidance, the emotional neglect.
And the bottom line is, some people are okay going to work, and some people would rather die. Each of us gets to choose.
For once, Rick didn't have a comeback. Been avoiding this for so long, and part of the reason is deep down, Rick knew there was a lot of truth to this, and Dr. Wong outsmarted him by putting his own truth barefaced in front of him. And Rick had nothing to say in his defense, because, let's be real, family, the characters, us as viewers, know that he doesn't really have one. He never once got one over her the way he did the dinosaurs. Think about dinosaurs for a second. Giant lizards that roar or something, right? Maybe you're thinking of giant bird-like creatures. T-Rexes, Velociraptors, all of that shebang. Well, it was neither of those things in Rick and Morty, because dinosaurs were actually way ahead of us all along.
We, quote, dinosaurs, evolved here on Earth until our technology was planetarily harmonic.
They were extremely advanced, interstellar beings with tech and ethics far beyond humanity's. They landed in style too, arriving on Earth in these huge spaceships. Earth's original rulers came back, and they were horrified to discover that their species had been overthrown by the humans, who they called hairless monkeys.
Dinosaurs are back.
Monkeys went bald?
At first, dinosaurs seemed really nice. They gave humanity a very generous offer.
Now that we're back, we can respectfully take it from here.
These guys wanted to turn the whole planet into a utopia. It took them very little time to fix all the problems that humans are still struggling with. World hunger, capitalism, and they even offered to fix the interdimensional rift that had ruined Rick's portal gun. They even gave Rick a way more advanced portal gun.
The hell is this?
A portal pistol. The gateways are see-through, not a green swirl, so now you can see where you're going.
Clever girl.
For once, Rick wasn't the smartest being in the room.
Oh, Dr. Manhattan, High Road asshole teleporting me?
Why wasn't that painful?
It didn't even do it right. My fly is down.
Your fly was already down.
The dinosaurs' combination of moral idealism, advanced tech, and patience threatened to make Rick, and humanity, obsolete. They replaced all suffering with total peace. Many humans, including members of the Smith family, started to enjoy this new peace. President Curtis hated this new world order.
I can't live like this anymore. At first, it was fun spending all day watching whatever YouTube autoplays after the last one autoplayed, but a man can only watch so many ads for Grammarly.
He was used to having a lot of power. I mean, the president is called the most powerful man in the world for a reason. And so he asked Rick to get rid of the dinosaurs. In exchange,
if you get rid of the dinosaurs, you can host the Oscars.
Yes!
Rick accepted. Then Rick traveled around to worlds the dinosaurs had once fixed, hoping to find some dirt on them.
Jackpot, Morty.
You still think the dinosaurs got something to hide?
No, Morty. They have a reason to hide.
His plan worked. He discovered every planet the dinosaurs helped, in inverted commas, was eventually wiped out by sentient meteors, cosmic beings drawn to the dinosaurs' perfected worlds.
Everywhere these dinos go, these rocks, they come a-crashing, and this one is headed directly towards us.
Humans didn't want them around anymore. Sure, it was great living in a utopia, but not if it meant everyone would die soon. The dinosaurs left Earth, and Rick and President Curtis got what they wanted.
Please welcome your host, an old science guy who got rid of the dinosaurs, Rick Sanchez!
At least Rick got the last laugh here. But the next one is even better. I saved the most satisfying one for last. In The Ricks Must Be Crazy, Rick finally met his match. He and Morty went into his car battery when it stopped working to figure out what was wrong.
Looks like something's wrong with the Microverse battery. We're gonna have to go inside.
Go inside what?
The battery, Morty.
Rick had created a whole universe in there and given the inhabitants of that universe Google boxes.
I've been electricity, which they now generate on a global scale. And some of it goes to power my engine and charge my phone and stuff.
You have a whole planet sitting around making your power for you? That's slavery!
The reason there was no power being put out for the car battery was because one of the universe's own scientists, Zeep Zanflorp, had also created a universe within theirs that was powering their cities, aka no more free power for Rick, who was absolutely furious when he heard about all of this.
I gotta tell you, Zeep, with no disrespect, I really think what you're doing here is unethical. It's not cool.
What?
You got the people on this world slaving away, making your power? I mean, that's what I call slavery.
Rather than see his own hypocrisy, he went on a rant about how wrong this all was and refused to listen to Morty.
What are you doing telling this guy that his miniverse is unethical? Do you not see the hypocrisy here?
Holy crap, you're right, Morty. Hypocrisy.
To make matters worse, they then found out that there was a scientist in Zeep's universe who was working on making the same technology, his own Teenyverse inside Zeep's miniverse. But he hadn't quite got there yet.
This is wrong, Kyle. What you're doing is wrong. You're basically... This is slavery. You're talking about creating a planet of slaves.
When Kyle, the Teenyverse creator, realized that his world existed just to power another, he reacted in the most rational way possible.
You gotta hang on tight, because she bucks pretty hard. Oh boy, what? Oh my god, no!
I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't have done the same. Talk about an existential crisis. Now Rick was trapped inside a nesting universe nightmare, with nothing but Zeep's ego and Morty's growing disgust to keep them company.
I crafted the guy that created the planet you're standing on.
Yeah, and I made the stars that became the carbon in your mother's ovaries.
I didn't ask to be born.
All right, that's it. I'm out. I'm gonna go into the wilderness, and I'm gonna make a new life for myself among the tree people.
Months passed in the Teenyverse before Morty finally forced Rick and Zeep to work together to escape.
I'm an alcoholic.
Opium addict. All right, okay, wrap it up.
Zeep was so mad he tried to kill Rick and Morty when they made it back to his world.
I'll be back in a sec.
You know how long a second can take in a microverse?
Rick responded by destroying Zeep's miniverse and the Teenyverse too, obliterating 2 universes from existence.
You monster!
It's like the Olympics for pettiness and also, I guess, just straight up genocide. In the end, Rick won the fight, but we still can't ignore the fact that his creations made their own creations, and it made Rick really pissed off and kind of got one over on him. Okay, well, after all of this, it's worth noting Rick isn't all bad. Really honestly. When we look back, he's actually been a hero who saved the planet multiple times as well. From shitting on the floor, to saving the planet, to sacrificing himself for others, these are 10 times Rick was a hero in Rick and Morty. Starting with the time when Rick encouraged you to shit on the floor and get swifty. So, a giant floating head appears in Earth's orbit, causing natural disasters and general panic.
Do we know what this giant head wants?
Show me what you got!
The head's only demand? Show me what you got. Talk about a tough crowd. One glance at the news and Rick immediately puts the pieces together. He knows exactly who they are and, more importantly, what they want. Because if there's one thing Rick Sanchez excels at, it's seeing the catastrophe before everyone else even smells the smoke.
Time to go, Morty.
Where?
The Pentagon. I mean, not the Pentagon. The lame one, here on Earth.
Meanwhile, in the Pentagon's war room, the president and his advisors are scrambling like contestants on a cooking show with no ingredients.
What America's got is 70,000 megatons of kaboom boom. And I say we show it right up this floating head's ass. No,
Rick's entrance catches everyone off guard. Who the hell is this grizzled old guy in a lab coat? And why is he acting like he owns the place?
Stay back! This watch turns people into snakes!
After a few snaky incidents, because of course there were snaky incidents, the president finally listens. So Rick lays it out, what the head is and what he wants, and it wants...
This head won't go away until Earth shows them it's got A hit song.
Oh great, a giant cosmic head appears in the sky, and what does it want? A hit song. Not world domination, not intergalactic war, just a bloody chart topper. Now, the president has a great talent in mind. Farrell, Randy Newman, and the Dreamer.
Pharrell, Newman, Corgan, and that dream guy, they're all dead.
What? How is that possible? Do people just die when I name them?
Unfortunately, they are all dead. Out of options, the president turns to Rick for help. How hard can it be to make a hit song?
Sanchez, are you a musician?
I dabble, Mr. President.
Get this man and his grandson on a Black Hawk to Area 51.
No tune, no beat, absolutely no plan. Rick and Morty drop straight into a massive speaker system at the Sonic testing facility in Area 51.
Rick, are you really a musician? Who's not a musician, Morty? Me! Yeah, not with that attitude.
Because when an all-powerful space deity demands a hit song, you don't ask questions, you turn on military-grade sound equipment and hope for the damn best.
I'm Mr. Bulldog.
Mr. Bulldogs.
Don't analyze it, Nathan. It's working.
On the floor. Time to get swifty in here.
Holy shitballs. It actually worked. The giant cosmic head was pleased and just left. Who knew the key to saving Earth wasn't diplomacy, science, or even war, just getting swifty? Turns out all humanity really needed was a terrible dance and a total lack of shame. But wait, of course there's more.
What the hell happened?
Things escalate. Now when the giant head likes what Rick's got, Earth is transported to the final round of this cosmic competition. It's like being thrown into the deep end of a pool filled with judgmental alien faces and pure anxiety. You know, normal things.
Get back! Sit down! Morty, just put it down. You don't know what you're doing. I'm going to go find Mom and Dad. No!
Morty, feeling the pressure, grabs Rick's portal gun and makes a run for it. It's the intergalactic equivalent of a stage fright. But instead of forgetting his lines, he's forgetting the fate of the entire planet is at stake. Meanwhile, the military decides it's time to take matters into their own hands. They're ready to nuke every floating head out of existence because apparently they missed the memo that this is a talent show, not a Michael Bay movie. Morty, trying to figure out how the portal gun works, gets lost in time and space. Luckily for him, Bird Person finds him and inspires him to face the music with a head held high.
How often do you think you might look up at the stars and wonder what might have been had you just put your faith in Rick?
Armed with newfound determination, and probably a few feathers, Morty returns to join Rick for the performance of a lifetime.
Head bent over. Raised up posterior.
Rick's songwriting process is like watching a mad scientist create life, if that life was a catchy tune about, well, let's just say it's not family friendly.
Head bent over. Yeah. Raised up posterior.
Their performance is so out of this world that they win the contest and save the planet. Earth is zapped back to its original location, leaving a trail of confused astronomers and probably a few new conspiracy theories in its wake. I think that was insane. Just wait until you hear about how Rick saved the world from extinction. Saving the most intelligent species in the universe and Earth from extinction at the same time? Impossible, right?
Actually, I can probably help you. See, I'm technically human, but I've come to be more, on your level.
Not if Rick Sanchez has anything to say about it. All right, folks, let's dive into the prehistoric playground where Rick's heroism takes a Jurassic leap.
Give me the board. I'm dropping in for data.
Rick, that's the hardest thing in skateboarding!
It looks so easy on Pro Skater 3!
Remember when you thought dinosaurs were just big lizards with tiny brains? Well, hold on to your fossilized hats, because these dinos are about to make Rick look like a caveman playing with sticks. The portal gun is still out of commission as Rick goes through his process to fix it.
Is the portal gun working again?
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes that happens.
Leaving Morty with no choice but to enjoy another day at school.
Morty protocol, children. Oh, what's it now? Brain bugs? Space worms? Have I been the faculty again?
You know you're special when your mere arrival triggers the Morty protocol. Nothing says warm welcome like a classroom bracing for impact.
What did you do, you tiny monster?
And surprise, surprise, something did happen. The lizards are back, baby. Bigger than Lizzo and smarter than Stephen Hawking. A deadly combo of mass and mind.
Dinosaurs are back.
Monkeys went bald?
One can only wonder, why are they back? What do they want? Are we on the menu?
But surely our ancestors must have left some evidence behind.
Why is he nervous?
Because, you're dinosaurs?
Their mission is far more bizarre. They've come to bring peace and prosperity to the planet.
Now that we're back, we can respectfully take it from here.
Now we live in a utopia. No wars, no hunger, and everyone is free to indulge in their hobbies. Even our resident mad scientist seems to be warming up to the new world order, which is definitely not suspicious at all. But something feels off. Without purpose or challenges, everyone's turning into a Jerry.
I do think it's kind of funny that you're all basically Jerry now.
Fuck.
Blissfully content, yet utterly clueless. It's paradise, but with an existential crisis baked right in. Even the president, drowning in desperation, begs Rick to take care of the dinos.
You go?
That's not why I called. Drugs can't solve this problem.
At first, Rick couldn't care less. Honestly, he relates more to the hyper-intelligent reptiles than to the average human. But hey, everyone has their price.
Know exactly what I want.
I can't just snap my fingers and get you that job.
Yeah, thanks for lunch.
Fine. If you get rid of the dinosaurs, you can host the Oscars.
Yes!
Desperate, the president agrees to give Rick the one job he's always wanted. So Rick struts up to the dinosaurs, all charm and swagger, offering to help them relocate to another planet in another dimension. But surprise, surprise, they've already considered that option and decided to stick to just one reality.
Used portal travel eons ago, but evolved to a one universe, one truth policy as the highest form of existence.
To make things worse, or maybe better, they casually hand Rick a new and improved portal gun, one that actually lets you see where you're going before you jump, and then just teleported Rick and Morty back to their garage.
Dr. Manhattan High Road assholes teleporting me?
Why wasn't that painful?
It didn't even do it right. My fly is down.
Your fly was already down.
To say Rick didn't take it well would be the understatement of the century. A better portal gun? A smarter species? Oh, hell no. Fueled by a bruised ego and sheer pettiness, Rick is now more determined than ever to dig up some dirt on these so-called perfect dinos.
They're gonna call us Laura Dern because we're about to get elbow deep in dino doo-doo.
After hopping across 3 so-called blessed planets, each one previously uplifted by these benevolent dinosaurs, Rick stumbles upon a shocking pattern. Every single one of them, once thriving and problem-free, has been obliterated by an extinction-level asteroid impact. Coincidence? Rick doesn't believe in those. After poking around one of the massive impact craters, Rick finally uncovers the truth. The real reason these dinosaurs keep hopping from planet to planet. They're not just peaceful do-gooders spreading utopia, they're running from something.
You still think the dinosaurs got something to hide?
No, Morty. They have a reason to hide.
Something big. Something that always finds them. Back on Earth, the dinos are in the middle of hosting their own TED Talk, probably entitled Entitlement and Chill, How We Fixed Your Pathetic Planet.
Hi, what do you do when you want to kill yourself?
You don't do that.
When suddenly, boom, Rick crashes the party, metaphorical mic in hand. With a smug grin and dramatic flair only he can pull off, he exposes their dirty little secret.
Literally every planet with dinosaurs on it is eventually smashed by a huge space rock that takes out them and most existing life.
Turns out these so-called benevolent overlords have always known about the primal cosmic space rock, an ancient sentient asteroid whose one and only purpose is to hunt them down and wipe them from existence. And instead of facing their fate, they just keep hopping from planet to planet, leaving utopias in their wake, only for them to get smashed into oblivion. Rick, in all his chaotic glory, has successfully turned public opinion against the dinosaurs. The once adored space lizards are now the most hated beings on Earth. People, fueled by paranoia and a deep-seated need for their own suffering, demand a return to the good old days, where life was miserable, unpredictable, and filled with soul-crushing 9-to-5 jobs. Sounds like heaven, huh? Happiness plummets. Office cubicles refill, and fast food chains skyrocket in sales. Balance has been restored. Realizing they're no longer welcome, and trying to avoid total planetary annihilation, the dinosaurs do the only responsible thing. They pack up and leave, taking their utopia with them. Rick, basking in the glow of his hard-earned chaos, is now doing what he does best, soaking up attention. And what better way than hosting the freaking Oscars?
Suck my great tits, Hollywood pinkos!
Dressed in something obnoxiously over the top, probably drunk, and openly mocking Hollywood's elite, he's having the time of his life. But then, because peace never lasts, Summer casually drops a bombshell.
You haven't heard? The dinos are just standing up there on Mars with their dicks in their hands. It's so dramatic.
What? They're just gonna let the meteor hit them and die?
Rick freezes mid-sip, his award show high instantly ruined. The idea of those smug, utopia-loving lizards accepting their fate, just sitting there waiting for some cosmic death rock to flatten them? Unacceptable. Furious, And probably unable to resist proving he's still the smartest being in the universe, he snaps into action. Screw the Oscars, he's got dinosaurs to save. Rick, for once in his life, refuses to let someone, or in this case, some prehistoric hyper-intelligent space communists, die alone. If the dinosaurs are going out in a selfless act of cosmic acceptance, then damn it, he's going with them. He lands on Mars, flask in hand, ready to face oblivion like a true nihilist. No portal guns, no escape plans, just him, the dinos, and a planet-sized existential crisis. But just as the asteroid looms closer, something unexpected happens.
Cool with me that your final chapter is dying on Mars with an old dickhead.
One of the dinosaurs, perhaps the most enlightened of them all, snaps. Boom. With a single flick of their head, they obliterate the asteroid, turning it into cosmic dust. Just like that. The dinosaurs, now thoroughly pissed off that their grand, poetic sacrifice was rudely interrupted by their own survival instinct, decide to return the favor in the most petty yet cosmic way possible.
As long as we're doing each other favors.
Hey, wait, what are you doing?
Before leaving, they take one look at Rick's precious cosmic rift, and with one smug, calculated motion, they close it. Just like that, sealed shut, gone. Rick watches in silent disbelief, his brain buffering. The dinos, now back to their smug, enlightened selves, give him one last look. And with that, they peacefully float off into space.
Shit, they're coming back!
If you thought Rick Sanchez had already hit his peak in Mad Genie's creativity though, think again. Just when you are convinced that Rick is selfish, reckless, and only looks out for himself, he proves us all wrong by making the ultimate selfless choice. So there they are, Rick, Morty, and Summer, ready to unfreeze time like it's a TV dinner.
The whole point of freezing time was to stop giving a f. Put a shirt on your dumb dad, and let's get this dumb universe rolling.
But the universe has other plans. When you mess with time, it gets about as stable as a Jenga tower in a mosh pit. One little argument between Morty and Summer about who should have put the mattress under Mr. Benson, and reality splits faster than a banana in a smoothie blender.
Hey, don't shove me!
I didn't!
You didn't
What's
what?
your problem?
What's yours?
Shut up!
You shut up! Whoa, what the hell?
Our trio exists in a purely hypothetical state, just like a certain famous quantum cat.
Mom and Dad, get your head out of your family's ass!
Oh, you think Mom or Dad are gonna swoop in and save you, Morty? Yeah, sure. Maybe right after they finish their riveting suburban drama about who forgot to take the trash out. Real heroes, those two. Our heroes have 4 hours before they vanish into oblivion. Poof, gone, like they never existed. But don't worry, Rick's got a plan. All he has to do is push the button. Simple, right?
Here we go! Huh, that's weird.
Wrong. It took Morty and Summer just 20 minutes to completely derail their lives and set themselves on wildly different paths because, of course, life-altering decisions are best made in a panic with zero foresight. Turns out both Morty and Summer are secretly terrified that Rick will stop hanging out with them, leaving them adrift and uncertain about their place in the world.
Do you ever get scared Grandpa Rick might make me his new sidekick?
What? What kind of monster are you?
But let's be honest, who isn't? We're all just existentially confused meat sacks, clinging to whatever gives us purpose. After 30 minutes of Rick ruthlessly roasting Morty and Summer, explaining in excruciating detail why they're both utterly worthless,
You're both equally mercurial, overly sensitive, clingy, hysterical bird brain homunculi. And I honestly can't even tell the two of you apart half the time because I don't go by height or age, I go by amount of pain in my ass, which makes you both identical.
it's finally time for round 2, the second attempt to merge both realities back together.
I'm gonna do this again. This time, be like Grandpa.
You mean drunk?
What's that? You got something to say?
Oh, brilliant, Morty. Absolutely top-notch work. If screwing things up was an Olympic sport, you'd be standing on the podium, sobbing while they play your national anthem. Now Rick is certain that the other Rick is out to get him.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god. The
What?
son of a bitch is gonna kill me.
What?
The son of a bitch is gonna kill me.
What?
Fantastic. Now we've got 4 realities. Because if completely ruining one universe wasn't enough, why not go for the bulk discount on existential crises?
I'm standing here. Maybe you're right.
Holy now what?
Oh, brilliant. Morty's finally grow a backbone, and what's the first thing they do? Knock out every single Rick and toss them into a cage, like some kind of interdimensional dog kennel for drunk egotistical maniacs. And just when you think this mess couldn't get any worse, boom, a time cop shows up.
What the?
Your time is all ripped up to hell. You broke your time twice.
From the fourth dimension, no less, because of course we needed yet another existential headache in the mix. Good news? He actually knows how to fix it. Just slap on a dog collar and boom, time's fixed. The bad news?
How long exactly do we have to wear these things? They're really embarrassing.
Well, since you're going to time prison, I'd say you can keep them on forever.
Oh, just a minor inconvenience. Our gang is now on the hook for time crimes and set to do hard time. In time.
The only way your dumbass asses could ever have one is if it was stolen.
You stole a time-freezing crystal from testicle monsters?
I would have been happy to pay for it, Summer, but they don't exactly sell them at Costco.
Apparently, stealing time crystals is illegal. Who knew? Oh wait, probably everyone, because messing with the literal fabric of existence tends to come with a few rules. But hey, Rick's been in worse situations, right? There's only one way to get out of this mess, and it sure as hell isn't logic or common sense. No, this calls for something much dumber, and much riskier. It's time to embrace pure, unfiltered uncertainty.
Summer, Morty, take off your collars!
What? What the hell are you doing?
Good question. I suppose the answer is, I'm not certain.
Take that, time cop. Bet you did not see this coming. Imagine getting punched in the face 32 times simultaneously. Yeah, let that sink in. That's not just a beating, that's a mathematical anomaly in pain distribution. Some real mind-bending numbers right there, and a guaranteed way to reconsider all your life choices. At least getting back to certainty should be easy this time.
Hand me that flathead screwdriver. Actually, make it a flathead. Oh, shit.
They got the collars, and Rick needs to fix. Like 96 of them. Now just put on the collars, and we're all safe. Summer's out. But one of the Morty collars is still broken, and time is running out fast. Therefore, Rick blames Morty for his inability to put the collar on, and just when Rick reaches for Morty's collar...
Oh, Rick!
Morty!
Yeah. Now Rick is in a pickle. He can save himself and get out or jump into the void after Morty. Rick, faced with a split-second decision, gives the only working collar to Morty, essentially signing his own cosmic pink slip. To move so selfless, you'd think someone swapped Rick's portal gun for a heart grower.
I'm okay with this. Be good, Morty. Be better than me.
Rick is at peace with the decision, but then he sees a light shining from Morty's lost collar, and after some MacGyver magic, he fixes the collar and gets back to certainty.
The other collar! I'm not okay with this! I am not okay with this!
It's moments like these where Rick, against all odds, actually shows where his priorities lie. Surprise, surprise, it's not with science, booze, or screwing over the multiverse. It's with his family. Yeah, I know. Shocking. It's almost like he actually cares. In his own twisted, dysfunctional way, anyway. If you thought this was selfless, wait until you hear about how Rick saved Mr. Poopy Butthole. A simple intervention for Mr. Poopy Butthole? Not with Rick Sanchez. What started as a talk about drinking spiraled into drugs, predator fights, and Hugh Jackman. Somehow, against all odds, Rick actually helped, in the most Rick way possible. You ever try to help someone get their life back on track? Yeah, it's a nightmare.
I'm a piece of garbage. Can you boost me up so I can hook my belt to the ceiling fan?
We don't have a ceiling fan.
But against all odds, that's exactly what Rick set out to do. Not because he wanted to, oh no, he had way more important things to do, like tracking down his arch nemesis and maybe, just maybe, saving the multiverse in the process, but no. Instead, he got roped into fixing Mr. Poopy Butthole's train wreck of a life. Here's how it all went horribly wrong. So there he was, mind focused on bigger things, when Beth waltzes in, all righteous and motherly, and drops the intervention bomb on me.
Dad, you can't keep putting this off. You're doing an intervention with us.
Nope.
Then we're sticking Poopy Butthole downstairs with you.
What is this?
Oh sure, Beth, because obviously I'm the ideal candidate for life coaching. The guy who gets blackout drunk with Cthulhu on weekends and has literally destroyed entire realities is somehow supposed to be the voice of reason. But fine, whatever. He's my friend and I owe him one. So Rick did what any rational person would do. Grabbed the gang and decided to stage an intervention at a bar. Because where else would you convince someone to quit drinking than a place where booze flows like a goddamn river? Genius, right?
Well, should we do shots?
Rick?
Let's get riggedy wreck!
Yeah!
Now an intervention needs friends and family, people who actually care about the person. Rick had none of those. Instead, I rounded up the most questionable crew possible. Mr. Gearhead, zero emotions, zero empathy, and entirely made of gears. Great pick. Squanchy. probably needed an intervention himself.
We need to have a hang with Poopy Butthole and talk to him about
His drinking.
Us? Not without a squanch.
I'd love one if you're pouring.
Make it 3.
Enough said. Bird person. Brooding, cryptic, and clinically depressed. Just the energy we needed. Gene. Completely sober. We needed at least one guy who wasn't going to end up in the drunk tank. This A-team of absolute degenerates was now responsible for saving a man from self-destruction. You see where this is going, right? They get to the bar and have one job. Talk to Poopy Butthole. Convince him to clean up. But before they can even say a word, something unexpected happens. Turns out, it's his birthday.
This is a great place to celebrate my birthday. Birthday, 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 birthday.
Your birthday?
Yep, his goddamn birthday. And because they're objectively terrible friends, they completely forgot. So what's the best course of action? Celebrate. Hard. Started with 1 drink, then 2, then 5. Then, I don't know, reality blurred, and suddenly the gang was dimension hopping, partying with creatures whose names I couldn't pronounce.
That one's not my belly button.
Well, what is it?
But somewhere along the way, they run into Hugh Jackman. Yes, that Hugh Jackman. Wolverine himself. Turns out the guy parties like a lunatic. Offered us some pills. Obviously we took them. Because at this point, why not? Between hallucinatory chaos, minor property damage, and potentially breaking a few universal laws, Poopy Butthole has a breakthrough. Through the tears, booze, and questionable pharmaceutical choices, he finally confesses what he wants more than anything.
What does your heart want, Little Ripper? Right now, don't think.
Right now, my heart wants Amy back.
He wants Amy back. Yep, this whole downward spiral was about his ex. Typical. So being the incredibly helpful, selfless, genius group of friends, they decided to fix it. We found out Amy is living with the private detective Poopy Butthole hired to spy on her because, of course, this story needed a stalker subplot.
I'm gonna unclip this later.
Now completely unhinged, Poopy Butthole kidnaps his own son, Poopy Jr. Guess who really doesn't appreciate that? Predator.
That was self-destructive.
Yeah, Predator, like actual 7-foot-tall intergalactic trophy hunter Predator. Turns out the detective Poopy hired was a predator.
You've been surveilling your ex-wife?
Ooh-wee, not with the restraining order. I hired a predator to follow her around.
Because why not? At this point, we might as well go full sci-fi chaos. Xenomorph anyone? The second we try to escape, Predator tracks us down. Now, I've been in some bad fights before, but this was a massacre. We got wrecked. Absolutely demolished. Predator fought like he was contractually obligated to ruin our night. But Rick turned the tide. Barely. Just when things seemed under control, who comes out of nowhere?
But man possesses a precious gift, the power to change.
More like the power of music, bitch.
What the fuck?
Hugh freaking Jackman. What does he do? Knocks out Predator with his bare hands. No claws, no fancy tricks, just pure Australian movie star strength and an award in his hand. With everyone still alive, somehow, we ended up sitting outside Taco Tambourine, eating cheap food and reminiscing about the good times together. And in the end, Poopy Butthole gets his poop back.
Let's call it. I want to pass out before I remember what we did tonight.
I never want to forget it, and I never want to repeat it.
Proud of you, little buddy.
Not the whole poop, but enough to get him going in the right direction. Was it worth it? Well, he's not living on the couch anymore, and he seems to be a bit happier. And as for Rick, when his friends truly need him, when everything is falling apart, he does the unthinkable. He actually shows up. For once, he puts his own chaos on hold, sets aside his mad scientist ego, and does what a real friend does. Helps. Not that he'd ever admit it, of course. But that is nothing compared to what Rick did to save Morty. So, Morty got excited, Jessica has broken up with her boyfriend.
I want that kind of love, like that docking kind of love. Oh, yeah. Like penis in the foreskin kind of love. Just like warm, just like...
Rick swoops in just before Morty can embarrass himself.
Everybody fuck off. Morty, I need your help. We need to go on a quick adventure.
You said I could go to school today.
School? Totally overrated. Who needs education when you've got Rick's 20-minute adventures that somehow feel longer than the Lord of the Rings Extended Edition marathon? Just saying, Frodo had it easy compared to Morty.
Let's go, in and out, 20 minutes adventure.
They're on our
Eddie Morty, 5 C-turns!
Rick and Morty, fresh off another near-death experience, decide to treat themselves to a relaxing spa day. Because nothing says self-care like potentially lethal alien technology, right?
No incentive, really.
Oh my god, okay, listen, we'll try the machine, but I'd like you to try something. Try swallowing the giant ball of snot that's dangling around in the back of your throat. It's disgusting, nobody wants to hear that.
Jeez, Rick, cut the guy some slack. He's just doing his job.
Rick, is this thing supposed to be making this?
Wow, this is really something else. It's like someone took Rick and Morty, tossed it into a vat of toxic waste, and out came all their worst traits. No portal gun required. On the other side, Rick and Morty came out of the detoxifier happier than a Jerry at a self-help for spineless losers convention. Who knew purified chaos could be so uplifting?
Yeah, motherfucker, yeah, get it! Get some! Right up your fucking bitch ass, you fuck!
While the toxic Rick is out there busting his butt trying to break free from the radioactive wasteland, Morty's over here living his best life, probably sipping a virgin margarita, discovering self-love for the first time. Priorities, right?
I'm on my knees, Stacy, praying, worshiping, begging, whatever you want. What do you think about that?
Okay, fuck it.
Tink.
Meanwhile, Rick, because of course he can't leave well enough alone, has managed to get his hands on the container holding the toxic sides of both him and Morty.
What is this? This is the parts of your pussy grandpa that keep it real. Oh, and I think you dropped something too.
I don't want to be on camera. I'm ugly and gross, please.
And naturally, he's gearing up to let them out, because why not throw a little radioactive chaos back into the mix? Morty, who's surprisingly not thrilled about getting his toxicity back, because hey, who wouldn't love a stress-free, self-actualized version of themselves, decides to oppose Rick.
Is it wrong if I think this is kind of hot?
In the process, Stacy is sent to the toxic wasteland instead. Sorry, Stacy, but someone had to take one for the team.
Is this like a sex dungeon? I guess I should have been paying attention.
Toxic Rick, now more determined than a Jerry trying to prove he's useful, gears up for an all-out brawl to stuff healthy Rick back into the toxic can.
Nice try, asshole.
Luckily, Beth shows up just in time to stop the house from being completely obliterated.
Dads?
Okay, just leave her out of it.
What's going on?
All right, fuck this. Time for plan B.
With plan A a total flop, thanks Beth, Toxic Rick shifts to plan B, because why settle for one ruined household when you can toxify the entire planet?
As we praise our loving father, God is alive, we made him up for money!
Back at home, Morty's got no choice but to literally slap some sense into whatever's left of Rick.
Our toxins have as much a right to their worldview as... Morty, how is it healthy to slap me?
Obviously, my version of health is a hell of a lot different from yours, you useless old turd!
With the entire world now one giant toxic cesspool, think Las Vegas on a bad day, Rick and Morty finally come face to face with their toxic counterparts. This time, Rick's got an ace up his sleeve.
Didn't you learn last time that you can't beat me? Yeah, I did. And then I learned something else. This.
It wasn't a bluff. Turns out Toxic Rick, despite all of the egomania and chaos, actually cared deeply for his Morty. So much so, he was ready to do the unthinkable, sacrifice himself and merge back with healthy Rick. Because even in a swirling pit of dysfunction, a Rick will always love his Morty.
Just do it, you piece of... I'm back, baby! Regular Rick! Master of both worlds! Check it out! Excuse me.
Guess toxic traits aren't the only thing he's been holding on to. Morty, on the other hand, wasn't exactly thrilled about reuniting with his whiny, anxiety-ridden toxic side.
Ha! All right, Morty, now it's time we remerge your little ass.
You're a better man than me, Rick! I'm healthy enough to admit that!
That kid is a real piece of shit.
For once, he was content living his best life, confident, carefree, and blissfully ignorant of the emotional baggage. While Morty skyrocketed to incredible professional success, think Fortune 500 CEO, deep down something was missing. Beneath the polished exterior and newfound swagger, he couldn't shake the nagging feeling that his other side, flaws and all, was what made him, well, him. Turns out you can't fully love life without a little self-doubt whispering insults in the background.
So, how do you feel, Morty?
Oh, jeez, I'm miserable.
Am I good or what?
This was nothing, though, compared to the things Rick did for Summer. So Rick spends a little extra time with Summer. A rare, quiet moment free from chaos, complaints, and Morty's endless whining.
Hey, how about we use a ping pong ball for Pluto, and then Jupiter
Actually, I don't think Pluto's a planet.
Summer has got a job at a small shop, and her boss, an eccentric old man. Some would say she is compensating for something.
My boss is this really smart, eccentric old man that treats me nice and values me.
Meow! Can't wait to meet this fascinating character.
The shop is incredible, packed with exquisite, vintage items, each one supposedly infused with a special power. And get this, they're all free.
Free of charge. One never pays here. Not with money.
Nothing to read into there. Thanks!
Yeah, sure. Nothing shady about that one at all. Call me crazy, but when someone starts handing out magical antiques for $0, you're either in a fairy tale or about to get cursed into oblivion. Rick knows a scam when he sees one. It comes with the territory of being the smartest man in the universe.
So what are you, like the devil?
What? Sorry?
I don't know. Store comes out of nowhere, all the shit's old and creepy. Are you the devil? A demon? Leprechaun?
Honestly, if you fall for this one, you deserve it. At this point, it's not even deception, it's just natural selection. Go get your Darwin Award right now. Summer sends Rick home before he gets her fired. Back in the garage, Rick takes a closer look at the telescope Summer's boss so graciously gifted him. And surprise, surprise, the damn thing is evil.
Your sister's boss gave me a microscope that would have made me retarded.
Ooh, oh boy, Rick. I don't think you're allowed to say that word, you know?
But Rick is not done. He has a plan. Back at the shop, the first happy customer comes stumbling back in. Except now, they're less happy and more horrified.
This aftershave made women want me, but it also made me impotent!
A price for everything, Mr. Goldenfold. A price for everything.
Oh my god!
Turns out those special powers come with a few nasty side effects. Who could have seen that one coming? Surprisingly, Rick shows up and injects a serum into Mr. Goldenfold's neck, which removes all negative side effects caused by the item he received. Mr. Needful is left speechless. Rick has created a scanner that tells exactly what curse each item has.
Beauty cream that makes ugly ladies pretty but also makes them blind?
One could say he doesn't exactly like the guy. At one point, it gets physical.
Hey! No!
Frustrated, Summer steps in and confesses.
So what if he's the devil, Rick? At least the devil has a job. At least he's active in the community. What do? You eat our food and make gadgets.
Summer's bluntness stuns Rick and Mr. Needful, and she goes ahead and kicks Rick out of the shop.
Whoops.
A few days later, the Devil's shop is booming. Every customer who shows up is ready to take any available merchandise without a second thought. Could it be going too well? Then a revelation comes.
Why do you want cursed items?
Well, I'm going to get the curses removed at Curse Purge Plus. You know, the guy on TV.
What?
Turns out right across the street, Rick wasn't about to let the scam slide. So what does he do? Starts his own business, but not just any business, a curse removal shop. Because if some dodgy old man is handing out cursed antiques, Rick's gonna be the genius entrepreneur who charges people to undo their dumb decisions.
This eerily intelligent doll was threatening to murder its family. Now it does their taxes.
Everything's deductible.
It's capitalism at its finest, or as Rick calls it, fixing natural selection for a profit. Or maybe he's doing this because he is not Summer's favorite grandpa anymore. Who knows? Devil's shop is empty, people have taken everything, and the business is in ruin. Depressed and out of options, Summer finds the devil in a dire situation. Makes you think, who's the real devil here?
I mean, seriously. I may be the devil, but your grandpa is the devil.
Summer delivers Rick the last of their inventory. Rick, with a victorious smile on his face, is proud of his achievement, acting like an alpha that he thinks he is, but Summer is not buying it. Summer leaves, and Rick feels somehow defeated.
I just got bored. Everybody out.
Summer took all of the fun out of it, and he did not get what he actually wanted, Summer's attention back. Back at the shop, Summer and the devil have a breakthrough moment, a fresh start, a bold new venture, and in true Silicon Valley fashion, after just 6 hours of work, they get bought out by Google. Then the devil shows his true colors.
How much did we make?
This is my business. Security!
You're Zuckerberging me?
I was Zuckerberging people before Zuckerberg's balls dropped.
Back at home, Summer pours her heart out to Rick, telling him how devastated and empty she feels after the devil dumped her. Rick has an idea that can make them both feel better.
I think I might have an idea.
Totally, let's do it.
Ah, yes. A plan that involves lifting heavy weights, steroids, and a ridiculous amount of punching. Naturally, Summer is all in, because nothing says healthy coping mechanisms like going full Rocky montage after getting dumped by the devil. And so they get back to work, fueled by rage, protein shakes, and a questionable lack of self-preservation. The result? Sweet, sweet revenge.
Rick? Summer?
Because if there's one thing more satisfying than a successful business, it's watching your boss get absolutely obliterated. And there you have it, folks. Rick not only saved the entire town from the devil's shady business, but somehow along the way, actually bonded with Summer. Who knew exposing supernatural fraud and delivering a brutal beatdown could be such a heartwarming family activity? But wait until you hear about what Rick did for the guy who tried to piss on him. This time, Rick takes an enemy rehabilitation to a whole new level. But why? And did it actually work? Let's break down one of Rick's most unexpected redemption arcs. Rick and Morty square off against Mr. Nimbus on a deserted island, straight out of a classic 90s action movie. Slow motion standoffs, dramatic one-liners.
Your fortress is a salty waste of coral and clam. Relinquish it at once.
The whole deal. Both of them walk away convinced they've won. And just as the dust settles, boom. Out of nowhere, Cookie Magneto arrives, ready to challenge Rick to a duel.
Fight me and find...
Rick, not in the mood for a pastry-powered showdown, blasts him into oblivion in seconds, and reveals the truth.
I can't fight another one of these 90s-style goofball supervillains. I'm not the fucking Tick. I'm exhausted.
In a heated argument, Morty spills the beans.
But if you really have a lot of these guys gunning for you, maybe you should look into what you're doing to...
Oh, don't start that crap, Morty. I don't do anything for these dipshits to seek me out.
I am Mr. Calypso.
Yeah, Rick, maybe it's you. So fresh out of a therapy session, yeah, let that sink in, Rick decides to embrace his new enlightened self. No more petty battles, no more feeding into wannabe villain antics.
Is that man dead?
Is everything in here confidential?
Everything but murder.
Then he's fine.
The Smith family is peacefully eating dinner. Then, out of absolutely nowhere, Pissmaster arrives. And because subtlety really isn't his thing, drenches Jerry's lavender in a golden shower of pure disrespect. But wait, he's not done. As if publicly baptizing Jerry's lavender in piss wasn't enough, Pissmaster decides to go for the full villain package and throws a few half-baked insults Summer's way.
Whole family is here. Who's that redhead? Wouldn't mind spraying her with a golden shower.
Oh my god, what?
Because apparently being a walking biohazard wasn't obnoxious enough. Rick, now basking in his newfound zen, barely even registers the chaos unfolding around him because, frankly, he's above it. But Jerry, oh, he's had enough.
Take your shot, pussy.
Don't talk to me that way. Go away.
Make me.
Go away!
For once in his mediocre, embarrassment-riddled existence, he decides he's not going to be the punching bag today. Fueled by newfound rage and the most unexpected battle partner, a flamingo, Jerry unleashes hell on Pissmaster. And a twist no one saw coming, the eternal doormat of the family actually beats the piss out of Pissmaster. And somehow, through sheer dumb luck and an alarming lack of self-awareness, Jerry manages to become an intergalactic hero.
Jerry Smith, our galactic orb ship thirsts for justice and those who deliver it.
Wait, what?
Our great council would like to offer you this silver orb, and with it, a place amongst us.
Think Iron Man, but with zero brain power, no style, and the kind of decision-making skills that should have gotten him killed at least 5 times over. Turns out, this seriously pisses off Rick. Jerry, bumbling, clueless, pathetic, somehow can't do anything wrong now.
Hope there weren't other people on that planet.
And there were no other people on the planet, only Hitlers.
He's a galactic hero, adored by millions, and worst of all, no wannabe villains are even bothering to come after Rick anymore. Looks like therapy actually worked. Rick is at peace, and he hates it. Empty and without a purpose, Rick decides to visit Pissmaster. He knocks on the door, but there is no answer.
God damn it.
In a last-ditch effort, Rick tries to revive him. Then the doorbell rings. Pissmaster's daughter is worried, and Rick can't ignore it.
Look, if you were to ever do something, I'd never stop blaming myself. Just please let me know you're okay.
God damn it.
Rick stumbles upon Pissmaster's death note, and just like that, his inner fire reignites. Gone is the passive, therapy-approved Rick. This is personal. Fueled by a mix of guilt, boredom, and sheer stubbornness, he decides it's time for a comeback story, whether the universe wants it or not. Pissmaster's legacy is about to get a redemption arc, courtesy of Rick freaking Sanchez.
Those were heat-seeking pistols, by the way, not just missiles.
Oh, okay.
From stopping petty theft to saving adorable puppies, Pissmaster is suddenly the hottest new hero on the block. Of course, it's not actually him, it's Rick, pulling the strings, of course, orchestrating the ultimate redemption arc. And he's got the perfect ending planned. Pissmaster will die a hero. Because nothing cements a legacy like going out in a blaze of glory, even if you're already dead. On the other side of the galaxy, the Orb Council decides to award Pissmaster with an Orb of Power. Everyone loves a good comeback story, right?
All in favor of offering Orbship to Eugene Michael Piss, aka Pissmaster.
Orb, yes!
All those opposed.
Obviously, Orb, no.
Well, not everyone. Jerry does not like it. Jerry, now an intergalactic golden boy, gets the honor, or cosmic joke, of delivering the Orb of Power to none other than Pissmaster. Talk about awkward. But the new and improved Pissmaster, he couldn't care less. The Orb? Useless. He's got a plan to execute, a legacy to build, and an over-the-top hero's death to stage.
Now I'm gonna make a giant bomb, plant it in a city, and then have the suit autopilot the bomb into space. Boom! Everyone will think Pissmaster sacrificed himself.
Jerry, now furious and borderline desperate, does everything in his power to force Pissmaster to accept the damn Orb of Power. Because let's be real, Jerry thrives on validation, and if he can't even get a second-rate villain to acknowledge his heroic gesture, what's the point in any of this? Cue an over-the-top sky battle. Mid-fight, Jerry finally finds out Rick is the Pissmaster. Mind blown. Meanwhile, Rick, completely unbothered by Jerry's existential crisis, executes the final phase of his plan, blasting off in a glorious cinematic send-off, cementing Pissmaster's heroic legacy forever. Pissmaster's daughter, proud. The galaxy, amazed. The redemption arc, a total success.
What the? Rick Sanchez? The Pissmaster? Okay, this is not a good look.
This family man.
But Rick, oh, he's not done. There's one final touch to make this truly satisfying, completely crushing Jerry's confidence. And what better way than handing him Pissmaster's actual death note and watching the last shred of Jerry's self-worth disintegrate in real time. That's Rick for you. One hand rebuilding a wannabe villain's legacy, and the other annihilating Jerry's fragile ego. A true win-win. However, this is nothing compared to the way Rick dismantled the entire canine revolution. Is it possible to save the entire human race from a takeover by super-intelligent, mech-suited dogs without spilling a single drop of blood? Well, let's take a look. The Smith family has a new member, Snuffles. A little rebellious, a little unpredictable, and occasionally a menace to the carpet.
Outside? Are you kidding me?
Seeing Rick whisk Morty away on yet another adventure, Jerry puts his foot down. If Rick can manipulate reality, the least he can do is make the dog smarter. And maybe, just maybe, get him to stop peeing on the carpet.
Boy, you really got me up against the wall this time, Jerry.
2 minutes later, it's done. Snuffles 2.0 now follows every command with robotic precision. He even flushes after using the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom.
No way.
Jerry's dream come true. Or so it seems. Rick, ever the problem solver, or problem creator depending on who you ask, is determined to help Morty boost his grades. But sitting down and actually teaching him complex formulas? Boring. Tedious, a total waste of genius. Instead, Rick does what any rational mad scientist would do. He builds a dream-invading device to hack directly into Mr. Goldenfold's subconscious and convince him that Morty deserves straight A's.
Listen, tonight we're gonna go into the home of your math teacher, Mr. Goldenfold, and we're gonna incept the idea in his brain to give you A's in math, Morty.
Brainwashing your teacher beats studying any day. While Rick and Morty are busy rewiring Mr. Goldenfold's subconscious to hand out straight A's, things at the Smith household take a turn.
This is what I'm talking about. This is a dog.
Oh yeah, this should play out just fine.
You said the same thing, equally sarcastically, at our wedding, and guess what?
Snuffles, now painfully aware of his intellectual superiority, struggles to communicate with the primitive humans around him.
He's saying I love Obama. So cute.
But then, a revelation. While snooping around, he makes a shocking discovery. Rick's intelligence-enhancing device is only running at 10% power. And the best part? He knows exactly how to fix it. The next day, Snuffles rolls up with a shiny new robotic arm, and for the first time, he can talk.
Snuffles want to be understood. Snuffles need to be understood.
Okay, yeah, I get what Beth was talking about.
Forget evolution. This is evolution on steroids, and the world is not ready for it.
It was only with years of selective breeding and genetic altering that this noble beast was transformed into man's subservient little buddy.
Fast forward to the next night. Summer jolts awake, heart pounding, as a shadow looms over her bed. It's Snuffles, now fully decked out in a high-tech mecha suit, glowing eyes piercing the darkness. He leans in, voice calm yet commanding, and asks one simple question.
Where are my testicles, Summer? They were removed. Where have they gone?
Oh, wow.
Looks like Snuffles isn't alone anymore. The Smith residence? Yeah, that's no longer a suburban home. It's now a full-blown mecha factory, churning out battle-ready exosuits for an army of hyper-intelligent dogs. The canine revolution is officially underway. Meanwhile, Rick and Morty, having dived several dream levels deep, find themselves in the twisted subconscious of a new acquaintance.
Welcome to your nightmare, bitch!
Scary Terry, a razor-fingered, sweater-wearing, walking lawsuit of a nightmare monster, who just might be the key to escaping this dream-layered mess. With Scary Terry's help, and a few well-placed bitchin' catchphrases,
these halves don't belong together, bitch!
Rick and Morty successfully plant the idea into Mr. Goldenfold's subconscious. Morty is now a straight A student. Mission accomplished. Feeling smug, they return home, ready to bask in their latest shortcut to success. But home isn't home anymore. Instead, they're met with the dystopian nightmare. Dogs in full mecha suits, patrolling the streets, overseeing their new empire. Snuffles' revolution is in full swing.
Wait a minute. I have an idea. See that? I'm peeing all over your special guns. That means I own them.
The age of man? Yeah, that's kinda over. While Morty completely breaks down, sobbing himself to sleep in a puddle of his own fear-induced regret, Rick starts plotting. But this time, no guns, no portals, no mass destruction. Instead, he's got a plan to turn this situation around peacefully without a single drop of bloodshed. How surprisingly noble of him. Rick, embracing his newfound noble streak, maybe he's just avoiding an all-out war with mecha dogs, hacks into Snuffles, now Snowball's, dreams. Inside the dreamscape, he plays his ultimate trump card, Morty.
Here, take these, Morty. Take these. Are these pills supposed to wake me up or something? Close. It's gonna make your kidneys shut down. What?
Using carefully crafted dream manipulation, Rick reminds Snowball of his bond with Morty, but most importantly, he inspires him to be better, to lead with compassion instead of conquest.
I would trade it all for my humans' health and happiness.
Do you think they would have done this for us?
We are not them. We are not them.
Because true intelligence isn't just about power, it's knowing when not to use it. As a result, Snowball and his fellow super-intelligent canines set their sights beyond Earth, seeking a world where they can thrive on their own terms. With their advanced technology and newfound purpose, they embark on a journey to an uncharted, empty planet, where they can build a civilization free from human interference. And just like that, they leave Earth behind, for good. Rick actually saved the day, peacefully. Not exactly something you expect from the guy who usually solves problems with explosions, reality-breaking tech, and a heavy dose of collateral damage. It's like New York surviving an alien invasion with every single building miraculously intact. Unexpected, bizarrely out of character, but hey, a pleasant surprise. When you thought things couldn't get any more crazy though, this happens. Rick's best friend is dead. The entire family is now fugitives, and the Galactic Federation is breathing down their necks. The future isn't just bleak, it's a goddamn black hole. So the Smith family is eating breakfast. Then someone knocks on the door. The intergalactic UPS is here.
Gross. What is that thing?
It's a courier flap. It's like the intergalactic version of UPS, but less off-putting.
Rick is about to throw up. Bird person is getting married.
In
inviting you to planet Squanch for our mate-melding ceremony.
Talk about the news that ruins your day. Everyone besides Rick is excited to go to the wedding. In the middle of a heated argument, Jerry, in peak Jerry fashion, somehow manages to get swallowed by the courier flap and taken straight to Bird Person's wedding.
It's a big deal he has a friend.
What do you know about friendship, Jerry?
Confirmed. Shipping Jerry.
Oh, God. Jerry!
Just like that, the choice is made. With no other options left, the entire family now has to go to the wedding.
Where am I?
You're at a wedding. Go change.
Jerry's first instinct on finding himself at an intergalactic wedding, though, isn't to question reality, but to start networking.
We're quite proud.
He's a wonderful person and an incredible bird.
Still, what is he, 40? It's just, when he was 30, she was an actual child. When he was her age, she wasn't born.
Yeah, nothing boosts your career like schmoozing at a war criminal's reception. Rick, on the other hand, is absolutely miserable about the whole situation. His game plan? Drink himself into oblivion and make sure he remembers absolutely nothing by the time this cringe fest of a wedding is over.
There's nothing to run from, nothing to fight.
That's his last name.
Are you hyphenating it?
Squanch this, mofo.
Good one, Morty.
So, Bird Person and Tammy have sealed the deal. A kiss, some heartfelt vows, and now it is time for the first toast of the evening.
Hi everybody. I'm Rick. When I first met Bird Person, he was,
Surely things will get better from here, right?
In a lot of ways, what I really am is a deep cover agent for the Galactic Federation, and you guys are a group of wanted criminals, and this entire building is, in a certain sense, surrounded.
Well, how can I say this? Tammy reveals that she is deep undercover agent for the Intergalactic Federation and shoots Bird Person on the spot. Rick, being Rick, goes full John Wick. And when he's out of guns and grabs a guitar, you know it's about to get real. Squanchy, proving he's more than just a catchphrase machine, steps up and gives Rick and the family time to skedaddle.
I got this.
The mood in the car is getting grim. Slowly but surely, the whole family starts to realize just how royally screwed they are.
Sleep it off and have a family meeting in the morning.
Yeah, about going home, we can't. Ever.
Wait, what?
Oh, these guys are looking for us now.
After a few insults get thrown around, the weight of reality sinks in. But Rick has a plan.
Look at this baby. Would you even know that wasn't Earth?
Yes, because there's no Africa.
Psh, white people problems, Morty. Let's go down and check her out. Oh, I thought it was further away.
After exhausting every last option, the family ends up stranded on a mini-planet, and things are getting desperate.
We discovered a species of tiny pig off the coast of New Australia, about 30 yards east.
Or 300 yards west.
We'd offer you some, but we hunted it to extinction for breakfast.
Food is low, morale is lower, and in true Jerry fashion, he decides to make things worse by trying to convince everyone to rat out Rick. Because of course, when survival is on the line, Jerry's big idea is to throw the only guy who can save them under the bus. Classic. Morty, Summer, and Beth won't have it.
So let me get this straight. For the rest of your lives, no matter how much it hurts you, no matter how much it destroys our children's futures, we're gonna do whatever Rick wants, whenever he wants?
Yes!
Why?
Because I don't want him to leave again, you dumb asshole!
Rick overhears their conversation, and with a heavy heart, he makes one of the hardest decisions of his life.
I was gonna hop over to the Gloppy Drop system, get some ice cream.
You want me to come with? Don't you need my brainwaves for camouflage or something?
I'll be okay. Bye, Morty.
Morty can feel it. Something's off with Rick. For once, it's not just the usual drunken nihilism or casual disregard for life. This is different, darker. And in a last-ditch effort, he does something he rarely ever tries with Rick. He pleads.
Rick, I can handle it if you go, but you'll break Mom's heart, and I won't forgive you for that.
Where's the van, Morty?
It's over the horizon, in the driveway.
Rick makes the ultimate sacrifice, turns himself in so his family can get a chance at normal life. And that is what a real hero does. No capes, no glory, just doing the right thing when it matters most. Because sometimes the hardest battles aren't against monsters or villains, they're against the people who we refuse to give up on. Heavy stuff, eh? But it does not come close to what happened next.
Who's ready for Rick's famous spaghetti?
So, the Smiths are chowing down on their Thursday night pasta, blissfully unaware that their meal has a darker origin than a Batman villain.
Rick, I gotta know, like, what's the secret ingredient? God, no, why? Why? No, why is it always this shit with you?
So, Morty, ever the curious cat, stumbles upon Rick's secret recipe and nearly loses his lunch. These noodles, they're made from people who've decided to cash in their chips on a far-off planet. Talking about putting the die in dining.
Of course it's a person, Rick! Why couldn't it just be spaghetti?
Most folks would be reaching for the bath bag faster than you can say Hannibal Lecter's cookbook. But not our Morty. He's got more questions than a toddler at bedtime.
On this planet, people that kill themselves turn into spaghetti.
What?
Rick's solution to fix everything is as simple as it is brutal. Show Morty how the pasta is really made.
Murdered.
Oh, gross!
Car crash.
Oh!
And suicide.
Oh, Rick, I don't... Wait, what is that smell?
You know goddamn well what it is, baby. Get in here.
Oh!
Because newsflash, you don't get pasta just by whacking the chef, you need to let him do it by himself.
Come on, Morty. Choo-choo plane.
Gross.
Come on.
God damn.
Telling you.
Why? How?
Their cortisol increases the starch
Morty, bless his heart, gets all misty-eyed about the whole thing. He wants to know their names and pay his respects to their dinner at its funeral.
I just want to be honest about something. After Lawrence died, we, ate him.
It's the circle of life, Mufasa style. But instead of becoming the grass, you become the pasta bolognese.
So we were eating people.
I'm afraid so.
They were so spaghetti-esque.
It's official. Morty has completely ruined Pasta Thursdays. A sacred tradition gone.
But it should also be noted to Morty that it's not cool to tattle.
Dad!
They were delicious!
So keep eating them!
We can't now!
Because of you!
Sometimes the smartest move isn't speaking up, taking action, or questioning the system. It's just keeping your damn mouth shut.
Well, I guess I'll go to my room, since everyone hates me now.
Oh, sorry. Good night, Morty.
Good night, Morty.
Good night, Morty.
Now deep in existential dread, Morty does what any modern, emotionally shattered individual would do. He turns to online therapy.
Are you depressed? Oh, Mama likes depression. Oopsie, I spilled my milk. Now we're both sad.
Just as Morty is about to finally inject a little dopamine into his miserable existence, there's a knock on his window.
You are invited to 41 Kepler B. You know it as Spaghetti Planet. You're not in trouble. We just want to talk.
Can that thing support my weight?
Turns out he's got an invitation from the Spaghetti Planet. And get this, their president has a business plan. Not for world peace, not for scientific advancement, but to cash in on people offing themselves.
Maybe it's time we allow some people the right to die and be delicious.
Please feel free to finish, Tanya. It is what you want.
No, I think I'm good. Thanks. Actually, can I take her to go?
Because if there's one universal truth, it's that someone, somewhere, is always trying to monetize human suffering. And the crazy part is that Morty will be the face of it.
Sorry to interrupt Morty's perfect spaghetti night, but thought he'd want to see this.
Whoa, what the fuck is that? Mortio's suicide spaghetti is 100% ethical, single-origin pasta.
Didn't take long for Rick to break it down for Morty. Just how colossal of a screw-up this really is.
Gave some thoughtful insight to their leader, and now they're selling their dead at every space Walmart.
I did, but I didn't say to do this.
Is this people or not people? I just need to know how much I should pretend to be upset.
What was once a prosperous planet is now a suicide-peddling dystopian nightmare. And guess what? Morty inspired the whole damn thing. Morty, now fully drowning in guilt, does the only thing left. He begs Rick to fix the mess.
Help me. I promise I'll never look under the curtain at a Rick thing to figure out what's bad about it ever again.
And you can never say no to me.
What are you, Keith Raniere?
For 2 weeks.
Fine.
He even swears on his pathetic little soul to never again question Rick's insane adventures or dig too deep in the moral black hole they usually come with.
We just need to figure out something else besides people to put in the cans, right?
But people are the spaghetti. That's the whole thing.
Fixing this mess? Yeah, not exactly a walk in the park.
You're always doing clones, right?
What are you suggesting here? Sped up lifespan and indoctrination program? Limiting their exposure to the world and convincing them that becoming spaghetti is their destiny?
I love you, Clone 5617B.
That was
some speed run have never let me go, huh?
Rick's first attempt, creating a clone army and brainwashing them into believing their destiny is to become spaghetti, total failure. Turns out even mindless clones don't love the idea of being boiled and served with marinara. But Rick doesn't give up. Oh no, he doubles down.
Kept the brainstem, internal motor functions, but essentially just a headless, boneless torso.
There's spaghetti inside that?
Theoretically, yes.
A little gene editing later, and boom, the perfect torso. No limbs, no thoughts, just a biological spaghetti dispenser designed to pump out endless pasta.
Spaghetti!
Technically.
Good enough for me. We need to fill 100,000 cans by the weekend. So let's fire up these chunky boys!
For a moment, it actually looks like they pulled it off. Spaghetti production running like a dystopian sausage factory. Fast, efficient, and only mildly horrifying.
Torsos right! Torsos right!
The new spaghetti sucks. We want authentic spaghetti.
Where are you?
You're gonna blow yourself up?
Yeah, but if you want to do
Well, you
it...
clearly have a morally superior position, so please, go ahead.
That didn't work either. Now everything is in ruins. The clone army failed, the gene-edited torsos were a disaster, and the spaghetti planet is a complete train wreck.
Hey, what's the fucking holdup? I've got an entire planet waiting on delivery.
They say they're out of spaghetti.
Then let's go down there and make some.
But just when all hope seems lost, Morty has a golden idea. Because if there's one thing he knows for sure, it's that Rick can synthesize literally anything. As long as he has a sample, of course.
Fuck! We owe so much spaghetti to so many planets that we're all going to have to kill ourselves.
Slow down, slow down. Rick can synthesize anything he gets a sample of. Can't we still try that?
I mean, is there anyone else left who might want to kill themselves?
And lucky for them, there's one guy left who can get them exactly what they need. Time for one last desperate gamble.
Why hasn't he done it yet?
Fuck you, spaghetti child!
What gives?
Fred wants absolutely nothing to do with becoming a delicious plate of pasta. And honestly, fair enough. Nobody wakes up thinking, today I'd love to be turned into a fine bolognese.
And I wish I could die. I won't feed you a sick system of profit. Integrity means living with pain. What if I told you this would end the spaghetti trade forever? What do you mean?
But Rick can convince anyone of anything. Now, together, they're about to shut down the intergalactic spaghetti trade once and for all. Who knew? Turns out, if you show people exactly what goes into making the best spaghetti they've ever tasted, they suddenly lose their appetite. And there you have it, folks. That's how Rick Sanchez single-handedly saved an entire planet from becoming your main course on Pasta Thursdays. Yeah, these acts of heroism remind us that Rick is still human. And that's not all, because despite regarding himself as a god, Rick also needs human connection. Real bad. Here's all of his love interests throughout the series. Rick has been around the block when it comes to romantic life.
Dad fucks all the time. He fucks things we can't even comprehend.
From humans to entire planets.
So what, you just go around knocking up planets now? Is that what you do when I'm in school? I'm a scientist, Morty. I try things.
We saw quite a few romantic interests on the show across the 8 seasons. So, in this video we are going over both every loved and every hated love interest has had in the entire show, starting with...
That's my wife from the day I lost her.
This was where Rick's whole anti-hero arc began. Diane was the love of Rick's life, and weirdly enough, the only human on this list. Kinky man. He had a great life with her and his daughter Beth.
Come on, girls, the ice cream's gonna melt.
He spent his days inventing and his evenings with his little family. What more could he want?
I just took a long look at myself, and I don't think this science thing is gonna pay off.
Well, why don't I get Beth and we'll go out for ice cream?
That, Diane, is the last great idea that will ever be had in this garage.
But then Rick Prime walked into his garage offering him portal tech. Rick turns him down, and oh boy, does he live to regret it. Prime blows up his house, not only killing his family, but also wiping Diane from every single universe out there.
Diane was wiped from all existence by the weapon too cool for a name.
The Omega device.
Known to inferiors as the Omega device.
I've always wondered, though, if Diane was wiped from existence, shouldn't Beth also be wiped out? Because if Diane doesn't exist at all, then how the hell does their daughter?
We're gonna have so much fun together, sweetie.
Yay!
Rick never got over the death of Diane. He was unable to really love anyone else the same way, and just aimlessly roamed the multiverse.
Your grandfather is indeed in very deep pain. That is why he must numb himself.
Even though she doesn't exist anymore, we saw her a few times, like in the final episode of Season 7, Fear No Mort, when Morty jumped into the fear hole, a hole that manifests your greatest fears.
Rick? What the fuck, Grandpa? Say something!
Okay, we're clearly still in the hole.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
He never left the hole?
Morty sees Rick and Diane reunite and be happy. They hung out together, did some shooting practice, and looked back on the good old days.
Tell you what, old man. Seems like losing me made you cooler. I should die more often.
Rick was really happy with her. It was almost like he was a different person. Morty manifested this in the hole because he was afraid that if Rick ever found Diane again, he wouldn't need Morty anymore and would kind of replace him, which is exactly what was happening.
Thank you for visiting the fear hole, Morty. Your fear of relying on Rick has been delicious.
Dear God!
Once he overcame his fear, Rick left Diane behind and followed him out of the hole. I think this episode laid the groundwork for this Season 8 finale, when we saw her probably for the last time ever. Rick wiped his memories of her and tried moving on and finding love with Bugan.
I know, you can't get close because of your wife who died 40 years ago, I know. This isn't that, it's a barbecue with my parents.
You don't want to get any closer than this. I'll just find something I don't like about you or get bored.
At this point, the memories and the pain of her loss were just a comfort for Rick, more than anything else. He's used to his misery, and it's pretty hard to get out of that, especially after spending decades like that.
Hey, Rick. Need me for any adventures?
Huh?
After learning the Omega device left only fragments, he chooses to delete his last memory of Diane to be more emotionally open. Meanwhile, Memory Rick,
You piece of shit! You ruined Jerry's brain! He likes me now, it's awful!
Fuck you, man!
who had been living in Jerry's head, manipulates Jerry's memories and after being caught, jumps to Beth's mind to instead rebuild a memory Diane, sending Beth into crisis.
I can't live without you!
Honey, please!
This is how we stay a family!
At the end of the episode, Rick owns his failures as a father and calms her, before sedating her to stop her mind from being destroyed.
Wait, what's he doing with his hand? He's distracting her! That piece of shit!
But instead of killing Memory Rick and Memory Diane, Rick builds a sealed ant farm-style habitat and ejects it into deep space, so they can exist together far from the family.
Thank you for keeping me alive this long, Rick.
Yeah. Goodbye, Memory Diane.
Or at least there's one place they could be together. But whether by choice or not, Rick has been forced to move on. I'm excited to see what Season 9 will bring. On the opposite end of the spectrum though, here is one that we all just hated. When Summer broke up with her boyfriend, Rick had a weird way of cheering her up.
What if I told you that your grandpa Rick's got something up his sleeve that's so ridiculous that it's gonna make you forget all about that stupid asshole that dumped you?
He took her partying across 3 planets that were about to go through a literal apocalypse, as in straight up world-ending natural disasters, namely Morgluts, Slartivard, and Fergus 9.
And I'm gonna drug it up and suck it up before each one goes kablamo, and I'm taking my favorite grandkid along with me.
It's an intergalactic bar crawl. On their way to the first planet, Rick laid down a couple of rules to keep the adventure light and carefree.
No whining,
Done.
no crying,
As if.
and absolutely positively no getting attached.
Sure, Rick. We'll see about that. While they're living it up on Morgluts, Rick met Daphne. She had pink hair, blue skin, and eyes on antennas coming out of her head.
Hello. I'm Rick. Hey, so the world's ending, and for some reason I want to die with you more than anyone else.
Hello! Have fun, Grandpa Rick! No commitment!
I guess he's into that because he went up to her and used the same pickup line he used on the last Alien.
The world's ending, and for some reason I want to die with you more than anyone else.
She literally had him at hello, and so he ignored his own rules and took Daphne with him to the second planet.
And absolutely positively no getting attached.
Let's be realistic here. Rick met her on an apocalypse party. It's supposed to be a night of mindless fun for him and Summer. We all knew this was a short-lived crush, and it would wear off as soon as Rick is somewhat sober again.
Hello. Got any agua around here? Mama's gotta hydrate.
Glove box.
Oh, yeah.
But Summer is pissed. Driving while your grandpa hooked up with an alien in the back could not be easy. She told Daphne that Rick's going to be done with her soon, but then Daphne pulled out her elbows and showed us why she had Rick wrapped around her finger.
Not if I keep Rick's mouth full of these.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's right, girlfriend. This is what you're up against.
When they reached their final stop, Summer got into the spaceship and shot a blast at the asteroid that was just about to wipe out the planet. She cancelled their apocalypse just because she knew the whole time that Daphne was just using Rick. And she wasn't all that into him and just pretended like she was so he'd take her along. And she wouldn't die with the rest of the Morglutzians, and knew Rick was her ticket out of there.
I don't know what you're getting at, Summer. Obviously, Daphne wants to... Oh, you cold bitch. Hello?
Goodbye.
She was doing it for her own survival, and honestly, it took Rick way too long to see that. At least Bagan had good intentions. At the end of Season 8, Rick was hooking up with Bagan, an alien member of the Defiance. She's actually an old friend.
Congratulations. The Defiance owes you to a debt of gratitude.
She's a cute insect humanoid with green hair and grasshopper legs, and a British accent that's weirdly charming.
Hey, BA, you need a coffee?
I could do with a tea.
Absolutely no biases from me there. The two had been hooking up.
Yeah. This has been fun.
But as usual, Rick had his guard up. But then Bagan made a big move.
My family hosts this whole dumb ceremonial tournament, and you'd make it tolerable.
Yeah.
She invited him to a ceremonial tournament being hosted by her family, and Rick did something I never ever thought he'd do.
Hi, Bagan.
Sorry for crashing breakfast. Rick called me and said, weird pitch, but then his pitch was just going to the thing I invited him to.
Not exactly typical dad behavior.
He actually tried rather than just being distant as always. That's not something he does with his hookups. Usually he's portaled out the window before they even wake up. So he made the difficult decision and wiped all his memories with Diane.
I know, you can't get close because of your wife who died 40 years ago, I know.
There was no other way he'd have a real shot with Bagan. He then went to the tournament where he met her parents.
Mum, Dad, this is Rick. He's that friend from my early revolutionary days.
The monkey man.
When they asked him how they knew each other, Rick casually told them they've been hooking up for a few months.
You've known my daughter a long time, eh?
I have, though Bagan and I have only been hooking up for a few months.
What?
They sent him into a duel with Bagan's ex, Jackpoo, because he violated their mating rituals.
Why did you say that?
I was opening up! I didn't know your species had ritualistic honor-based duels over premarital sex!
Premarital sex in their culture was a big no-no. Bagan was really annoyed. He's been seeing her for a while and didn't know something so basic about her culture. That's a major red flag.
You're a genius and you looked up nothing about my culture?
Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, this was his excuse.
I took my wife out of my head! I'm going through a lot!
But mid-duel, he got annoyed with fighting Jackpoo because Bagan asked Rick not to kill him. The only other way the duel would have ended was if one of them had accepted defeat.
This is what happens when you listen to people. You end up in a fighting pit with an ex-boyfriend you're not allowed to kill.
I'm not really surprised though. Jackpoo wasn't going to stop trying to win, and Rick would rather die than accept defeat. Rick ran out of patience and gave up. To piss him off further, Jackpoo told him that Diane's not the problem.
It doesn't seem like your dead wife was the problem. Oh, yeah? So we're all in agreement. Guess I'll just go undo it then.
Out of spite, Rick pulled out his portal gun and went home to bring her memory back, which he failed to do. All he found were corrupted and broken memories, and he decided to finally delete them and move on.
Listen up, you little activist. This is as good as you're gonna get. Ant farm brain in a patch of empty space.
Then he texts Bagan, but she doesn't reply, leaving him on red. Either it's over, or we'll see her again in Season 9, because it's not an outright no. But still, after watching Rick's patterns throughout the 8 seasons, chances are it's all over. Honestly, I felt pretty bad for her. She looked like she genuinely liked Rick and could see their relationship going somewhere. They'd been on missions together in the past and were friends way before they got together. It actually looked like just the type of thing Rick needed. Now for the time Rick stole Jerry's girl. Kiara was a warrior priestess from the planet Crutabulon, who dated Jerry for a bit.
Morty, Summer, this is Kiara. She's a Crutabulon warrior priestess from Crutabulon.
She was a rebound for Jerry after he and Beth divorced. They met through an alien dating service, which, ironically, was actually Rick's idea.
Kiara and I met on that interstellar dating service Rick was always suggesting when your mom and I were together, and things just kind of clicked.
She's way taller than Jerry, more muscular too, with a long hair, blue skin, 3 breasts, and 2 other things Jerry hints at.
I'm sure you noticed what she has 3 of, but guess what she has 2 of?
I'm surprised Jerry could manage even 1, let alone 2. Morty and Summer quickly figured out that he was just doing this to show Beth and had no idea what he'd gotten himself into by entering a Crutabulon soul bond with her.
Dad, do you understand how serious Crutabulon soul bonding is?
Gee, Morty, I don't know. It's got such a casual name. If you want to lecture anyone about commitment, start with your mom.
Apparently, those guys took their soul bonds very seriously. And here's Jerry treating it like any other situationship.
Dad, you need to slow down. Rethink this soul bond.
Why don't you just say what you really mean? You think it's cool that having sex with her gives me telekinesis, and you recognize she's got a hot bod like Chitara in Thundercats.
Morty and Summer explained to him that he needed to end things with her. He took their advice, but he was such a coward he blamed Morty and Summer for their breakup, saying they were racists who didn't approve of their relationship.
After all the time and energy I spent teaching you two about race, you ended up racist.
Kiara, understandably, got really mad, and maybe less understandably, tried to kill Morty and Summer. But you know what? I can't really blame her. To stop her from killing his children, Jerry had no choice but to come clean and tell her he's the one who wants out of their relationship, and he only got into it to date someone cool so Beth would see it.
I was excited to date someone cool because it would make my ex notice me.
In the middle of her self-righteous rant, her ex showed up and we found out that she too had been using Jerry as a rebound the whole time.
Kiara?
Trandor.
What are you doing here?
Earth was where he hunted, that's why she chose a human from the dating service.
Do you really expect me to believe it has nothing to do with us? You knew Earth was my domain.
I don't like what you're insinuating.
Then what was the point of all that soul bond stuff, by the way?
Do you understand how serious Crutabulon soul bonding is?
Gee, Morty, I don't know.
She was ready to kill Morty and Summer, all so she and Jerry could be together.
Children must be destroyed so that we can be together.
More importantly, out of all the people on Earth she could use as a rebound, why was it Jerry?
Thank you, sweetie.
In the episode's post-credits scene, we heard the messages left on Jerry's answering machine.
Hey, Jerry, it's Kiara.
Kiara had a new boyfriend already.
Listen, my boyfriend saw those texts you've been sending me, and he got pretty pissed off. If he calls you, just ignore him.
I guess she didn't get back with her ex, and dating Jerry was all for nothing. The new boyfriend was coming to kill Jerry because he saw some racy text between him and Kiara.
This is Carmox. I have intercepted sexual communications between you and my new girlfriend, Kiara. I am coming to kill you now!
Then a message left by Rick told us that Rick had killed the new boyfriend already and hooked up with Kiara?
Yo, Jerry, it's the Big R. I killed that alien that was coming after you. Looking out for you, buddy. Hey, Jerry, it's Rick. Don't be mad. I fucked your ex-girlfriend, Kiara.
Who are you talking to, Rick?
Doesn't matter.
I can see has a type. Daphne had the elbows, and Kiara's got 3 of them, and they're both aliens. But next up, we have an animal-human hybrid. Rick also got it on with Princess Ponita. She was the Chud King's daughter and was voiced by the iconic Christina Ricci.
Chuds don't forgive humans. Chuds eat humans.
You know, Chuds, the underground horse people. Princess Ponita's a half-horse, half-human anthropomorph. She stood on 2 legs, had long Rapunzel-like hair, and happened to be way taller and bigger than Rick. But he didn't seem to mind.
Prove it. Oh, I love kissing those big old horse teeth.
In fact, kind of the opposite. In the episode Rick Dependent Spray, Rick, Morty, and Summer were about to be executed by the Chuds because Rick slept with her.
You slept with my daughter!
Something he didn't even remember until they reminded him.
I did? Oh shit, I did.
Damn, he really got around, didn't he? She really loved Rick and didn't want him to die.
You can't kill Rico. I love him.
So she helped him and his grandkids escape their death sentence. Before they could be executed, she stepped in and revealed she's pregnant with Rick's baby.
Rico is the father of my child.
I have an heir.
Yep, that totally did the trick. They couldn't kill him anymore. She not only saved Rick, but also convinced her dad to send the Chuds to fight the sperm monsters gone haywire on Earth.
Rico, the hoofless, they need us.
Let's do this. Chuddly duddly ho ho ho!
Their army teamed up with the government and they successfully defeated the sperm monsters. Rick was really feeling her. He literally said he's ready to settle down and be an honest man.
It's time someone made an honest man out of me. Whatever you need, the whole 9 yards, you got it.
Never thought I'd hear him say those words. Then she gave birth to a baby foal with blue hair, just like Rick's.
Time! Oh my god, it's wonderful!
No DNA test needed. I cannot think of a time when Rick looked at anyone else that lovingly. Maybe in another universe where Chuds aren't so self-sufficient, he ends up with her and gives up his life of universe hopping and crime fighting.
They're ready to go right out of the box.
Cool. So, bye?
Yep, take care of yourself, Rick.
At least he won't be changing diapers anytime soon.
That was easy.
She's low maintenance, stopped Rick from being executed, and sent help to Earth when it was needed. What's not to love? Now for another alien love interest. It was like any other day for Rick. He was spending some quality time with his grandkids, traveling in space, and listening to some tunes together.
We love connection and experience.
Then suddenly, he received a distress signal from a ship. But instead of going there to help, he decided to loot everything himself.
The first rule of space travel, kids, is always check out distress beacons. 9 out of 10 times, it's a ship full of dead aliens and a bunch of free shit.
Whoa!
1 out of 10 times, it's a deadly trap, but I'm ready to roll those dice.
Classic Rick. But when he got there and talked to the surviving crew members, they told him that their planet had been taken over by a hive mind.
Our planet was taken over by some kind of entity. It absorbed the minds of our people.
The hive mind then attacked and overtook them too, but it wasn't anything to be scared of because she knew Rick.
Hello, Rick. Long time no see.
Unity?
Grandpa?
She was actually Rick's ex, Unity, the hive mind. It had the power to take over populations and shift between all the people in it. She and Rick got back together and their romance lasted approximately 1 episode, as usual.
Maybe it's part of getting old. Maybe I just missed being with a collective.
Morty, Summer, and Rick went with her to the planet she took over, and she told them all about how she took over, unified the people, and improved everyone's life.
I have transformed life here into a paradise. Prostitutes are now scientists. The homeless are now philosophers.
But in return, there was just one tiny little catch.
You're under the spell of an evil monster!
I can hear you.
Everyone had to sacrifice their free will. Rick and Unity wasted no time picking up things where they left them.
I need a hang glider and a crotchless Uncle Sam costume, and I want the entire field of your largest stadium covered end to end with naked redheads.
They had a blast, indulged in interplanetary parties, and took loads of illicit substances. But then another hive mind joined in, Beta 7.
Unity? Is it a bad time?
And left behind some materials that Rick used to make fractal dust, some sort of recreational drug.
Powdered neutronium and Fetatron? You know what I can make with this stuff?
While trying to impress Rick, Unity ingested a lot of the stuff, more than they probably should have, and this made her control of her citizens weak.
Whoa, that's not what I meant!
It's okay. It's okay. I evacuated the town. Look.
Hey, right here!
Many of them broke free from her control, and next thing you know, a race war erupted, putting Morty and Summer in a lot of danger.
And as you can see from my flat concentric nipple rings, I'm a member of this planet's top race!
Okay, that's good.
Even though nothing happened to them, they were officially done with all of this and just wanted to go home.
Grandpa, we need to go home now.
Fine, sheesh. See ya.
They wanted Rick to come with them, seeing that it was officially time to call it quits here, but he wanted to stay with her and continue partying. But Unity didn't feel the same way.
Rick, is there a way for you to call Summer and Morty? I feel bad that they...
Screw those guys.
She literally ghosted him in real life. The entire planet went empty. There wasn't a single person around anymore, but she left several notes behind telling him that she had to do this because Rick brought out the worst in her, even though she loved him.
But I know how it goes with us. I lose who I am and become part of you. Because in a strange way, you're better at what I do without even trying. Yours. And nobody else's. Unity.
Man, that's gotta sting. But it was hard to argue with that point. From that one episode alone, we could see that she cared about him a lot, but their personalities just did not mesh well. I get that, but she could have at least had a conversation with him face to face. This was a brutal way to break up. We had no idea Rick cared this much about her until after the breakup, when he went home and cried in his lab and tried to kill himself. Only failing because he was too drunk to keep his head up while the ray went off. I thought Rick was just having a good time, as always, but I guess he really loved her. He didn't seem nearly as broken over anyone else on this list except Diane. In the post-credits scene, Rick tried to win her back.
Unity! Unity! Unity!
He took Morty to Beta 7's ship, where she had been staying, and yelled at Beta 7, telling him to back off.
I know your game, Beta 7. I've met a billion of you, you little on-deck, in-the-wing shoulder to cry on.
You are classified as a hostile entity.
But he didn't budge, and it was obvious that Unity had put him forward because she really didn't want to see Rick, who wanted closure so badly. At least Balthramore stood by him to the end. Morty had been bugging Rick to get him a dragon for a really long time.
Dad, did you promise Morty a dragon?
So Rick finally gave in and got him one. But having a dragon isn't exactly the same as getting a dog or a cat as a pet. When the wizard came to drop him off, a soul bond was created between Morty and the creature.
Hereby bind this noble serpent and rider at the soul.
Apparently that's just how it's done. Even though the wizard soul bonded the two, it seemed he didn't really like Morty all that much. He spent all his time sleeping in his lair with the treasure he'd hoarded and was really annoyed when Morty wanted to do stuff together.
Okay, split the diff, 20-minute nap, and soar through the sky?
As you command.
Just dragon things, I guess. Dragons have a habit of breathing fire sometimes when they're sleeping, which Rick learned the hard way when he was almost killed by it.
Holy shit, look!
I love you, ass.
I love you, Brenner.
No.
Shh.
That was the end of it. He was officially over Morty's whole dragon thing and went to kill the creature. But quickly changed his mind after Rick saw its cool collection of loot.
I could spend all night down here.
Do you indulge in volcanic fumes?
Is it gonna fuck up my brain?
No.
I'll do it anyway.
So he let Balthramore live and started bonding with him instead. Balthramore also liked Rick way more than Morty, and thus the two became besties and went on an adventure to the zoo. Balthramore pulled a lion out of his cage and blew smoke on it, getting him high. They sure knew how to raise hell. But this isn't exactly of two bros.
Oh God! My soul! Oh yeah! I'm a dragon!
Yeah, that's definitely sexual. Come on, Rick, you got him for Morty, and then you're sleeping with your grandson's pet.
What the fuck?
Dragon soul bond? You know what? I'm not gonna get into it. Either way, Balthramore was pretty cool. He slept on a ginormous pile of all the cool things he collected, breathed fire, and talked like he'd come straight out of an old-time medieval tale, with knights and fair maidens on the way just behind him.
What's the saying? Orcs work to live, dwarves live to work.
Rick just couldn't help himself. Morty was pretty unhappy, considering the dragon was supposed to be for him, and now it's hanging out with his grandpa doing some, soul bonding. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. He went to the wizard to complain, telling him that Balthramore and Rick were even soul bonded, as I was just saying. The wizard got really mad at hearing this and whipped Balthramore, calling him a slut.
You slut, dragon! You slut!
Chill out, dude.
Okay, that's slut!
I'm not sure if this is a reference to the strain of weed with the same name or if he's actually shaming him for doing it with Rick. Probably both. Later, Rick and Morty teamed up with the other dragons to defeat the kink-shaming wizard and free the dragons he was ruling. They had a soul orgy with Summer too.
Thank you, strangers.
Well, it's your world now. Have fun with empowerment. It seems to make everyone that gets it really happy.
But in the end, Balthramore had to leave. Morty was kinda done with how sexual dragons were, and Rick really didn't want to hang out with him.
Also, I told you not to get a dragon, Morty. This is your fault. Fuck you. Worst adventure ever.
Worst adventure ever.
In the post-credit scene, we saw the dragon dragging his treasure on the street when a man stopped and offered him money in exchange for sex.
Let's help each other, huh? $50.
Slut!
He trashed the guy's car and drove him away. Maybe doing it with dragons was a popular choice in the Rick and Morty universe. Who knows? If you thought that one was crazy, wait till you hear about the time Rick does it with a planet. Yeah. When Rick got a call from someone he had hooked up with about a possible pregnancy, we knew we were gonna get some weird stuff. But a whole planet? That's just next level. She called him while he was on a trip with his family and told him she was pregnant.
Give it back, Summer!
Rick, please answer me. I'm pregnant. Oh my god, Grandpa, you fuckboy.
Rick totally caught off guard here and wanted to blow her off, but his family insisted on him stepping up.
I am not letting you abandon those kids like you abandoned me.
Oh my god.
When he and Beth got there, they discovered that Rick hadn't fathered a child, but a whole civilization. Throughout the whole episode, we never got to put a face to her, we only heard her voice.
Rick, you came.
Where is she? You're looking at her. I don't understand. Isn't it obvious, Morty? I fucked a planet.
That said, her land, earth, surface, body, you know, whatever the makeup of a planet is, all of that resembled Earth a lot. It was also breathable and had a lot of plant life. Rick and Beth stayed on the planet and set up a whole social system for Rick and Gaia's kids.
Okay, the therapists are getting bored. We need to increase their supply of incest porn.
20% wasn't enough?
They did a pretty good job, actually, but then a cloud appeared and he's super pissed off.
Stop acting like you did a good job. You made my kids soft and empty inside.
That cloud was Reggie, and Reggie was claiming the children are his and demanding Rick and Beth leave.
Maybe we should just bail, Dad. At least this guy is immortal and can stick around.
Bullshit, they're my kids. We're staying.
Rick didn't want to just leave. He put all that effort into making things run smoothly and wasn't going to take orders from anyone. Then Gaia came clean to Rick that she wasn't actually sure who the father of her kids was.
Rick, the kids. I messed up. You're not their father.
How does she not know who the real dad is? Come on, this isn't reality TV. Rick and Reggie both wanted to lay claim to the children, so they ended up in a fight. It looked like Reggie was about to win. He literally grew to 100 times Rick's size. But then Morty and Summer saved the day by ramming a spaceship they randomly found straight into him from behind. I don't think Rick could have managed Reggie on his own.
You kids are my fucking heroes. You saved Grandpa's life. I fucking love you so much.
Then Gaia got really mad that they killed Reggie because he's so big that when his body fell down, a bunch of her children died. But to be honest, what was Rick supposed to do? The guy was practically begging for a fight, and he was annoying as hell too. Gaia decides she wants none of his help anymore and chases them away with molten lava.
Okay, yeah, she's pissed.
I mean, you killed her slam piece, Grandpa. I don't blame her.
Little extreme, that. Also, no, none of us know exactly how Rick managed this whole becoming the father to a whole civilization with a planet thing in the first place. It's just one of those Rick and Morty things where you don't look under the bed. Don't worry about the logistics. Don't worry about it at all. Just like whatever's going on with Rick and Mr. Nimbus. Okay, I kept this one for last because it's not a sure thing, but I feel like something's up. It's no secret that Rick will do it with anyone or anything that catches his eye.
I was watching over your shoulder for a full minute.
So I was watching because it's funny. They're planets, but they're sexy. It's a comedic premise.
His dynamic with Mr. Nimbus was always kind of questionable. We first saw Mr. Nimbus in the episode Mort Dinner Rick Andre, when Morty crashes the spaceship into the ocean.
Oh shit, holy shit. We have to go right fucking now. You touched the ocean, Morty.
Rick was really stressed out when he found out about this, which is so not like him. We've never seen Rick scared of anyone or anything, but this was different.
Sorry, who is that?
My nemesis.
What?
My fucking nemesis, okay?
When Mr. Nimbus arrives, he's not the scary ocean monster I was expecting to see.
Is that Mr. Nimbus?
He was cool as all hell, with his slick black hair, fish-like tattoos all over him, and somehow he even managed to make that ridiculous orange Speedo look cool.
Your fortress is a salty waste of coral and clam. Relinquish it at once.
He's not just the king of the ocean, he also controls the police.
Fight. Fuck.
He can make them arrest someone or hook up with each other. Pretty random power, we know. When he arrived, he offered Beth and Jerry a threesome.
Oh.
Ooh.
By the looks of it, this was pretty normal behavior for him, and he did it to a lot of people. So much that his assistant knew the protocol by now. They all got a gift basket, so we know he gets around.
I take it you're a sex-positive couple?
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
We watch porn together.
Great, I'll mark you down as eligible for a three-way. Here's all the information you'll need.
During the episode's post-credits scene, where he saw that Beth and Jerry actually went through with it, they showed up in an apartment where Mr. Nimbus was staying. He overheard them both reconsidering and opened the door.
Please don't tell Rick.
He wouldn't understand.
Yes, he would.
It's not just me. A lot of other fans are convinced this means Rick and Nimbus hooked up, which is why he wouldn't find it weird. But wouldn't it be even weirder if that was the case? Rick's pretty sex positive, but sharing someone with his daughter and son-in-law? Then again, he did share a dragon with Morty, so you know what? Who knows? Then there's that little scene in Season 8's opening montage. The one where Mr. Nimbus is standing next to Rick with one hand on his butt. Other stuff in the opening credits has happened on the show, so it's totally possible, and I, for one, would love it if that was the case. And that concludes my list. And there you have it, folks. This was the entire tragic evolution of Rick's character throughout the series. Make sure to like the video and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more such compilation videos. And don't forget to subscribe, or Rick will add you to his kill count, and I'm telling you now, it's a big number.